604 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, off and running. Brian here with you, John LaBeouf producing. We're starting you off at 67 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge, and from the looks of things, you could be waking up with a good bit of fog this morning. Not like actual fog, not just fog because it's burnt down in the week. I mean, like actual fog. We got a busy show lined up for you today. We're going to talk Israel and Hamas. We're going to talk with the folks over Lake Urgent Care. We're going to break down some constitutional amendments. Rocco's making po' boys. Baton Rouge Zydeco are back on the ice. Baseball and softball start conference play. A lot of ground to cover. So let's start off. Top stories and trending.
Number 5.
A judge has ruled that a lawsuit challenging the upcoming election with constitutional amendment number 2 on the ballot can move forward. Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill said in a statement she plans to seek emergency relief from the Louisiana Supreme Court.
Number 4.
And the reason she needs to seek relief from the Supreme Court immediately is early voting opens tomorrow for the March 29th election. That constitutional amendment and 3 others are on everybody's ballots. And then, well, based on where you are locally, you should have some other things as well. So for example, if you're in St. George, you've got a mayoral race, a couple council races, and a home rule charter to vote on.
Number 3.
Wednesday evening, Louisiana State Police said St. Gabriel police officers tried to stop a 2013 Chevy Camaro when the driver refused to stop and instead sped up, going west on Highway 30. Driver then crashed into a car that was attempting to turn on a Bluebonnet Boulevard. State police said the driver was 24-year-old Jeremiah Downing. In the passenger seat was 22-year-old Hunter LaGrange. Both were killed in the crash. Driver of the second car suffered serious injuries, was taken to the hospital.
Number 2.
Police officers are investigating a double shooting that happened Thursday afternoon at a Hooper Road apartment complex. Baton Rouge police said 2 people were taken to the hospital after they were shot at Square One Apartments shortly before 4:30 p.m. The 2 victims had non-life-threatening injuries.
Number 1.
GMFS, a Baton Rouge-based mortgage lender, has they said they've reached a deal to buy the business from Ready Capital Corp. Financial terms of the deal were not disclosed. T. Brown, president of GMFS, said the purchase should close in 75 to 90 days, should lead to growth from within. What's trending, John?
Well, Postmaster General Louis DeJoy says he plans to have the USPS cut close to 10,000 jobs to stay in line with Doge's recommendations.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Hey, look, the USPS is one that I feel like they've been cut bare bones. Like they're about as cut can get.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, are they needed as an entire department? Are they needed? Like, do we need in 2025 a U.S. Postal Service? I don't like. I legit don't know the answer to that question.
Right, and then that's what leaves me kind of like wondering the same. You know,
I mean, yes, I really, when I go through my mail, the actual mail, most of it is like, you've been pre-approved. I don't care, throw it away.
Right.
Election season rolls around.
Of course.
You got a lot of the brochures and the mailers for the candidates, which our boy Danny over at 5 Star Printing and Signs does a great job of. But seriously, everything's electronic now.
Pretty much.
You pay your bills online.
Exactly.
I mean, everything you handle is online. You correspond with people online. It's not like we don't have a million other outlets to communicate with each other. I understand the need 100 years ago for a postal service.
Because now, I mean, even I checked my mail yesterday, and that's all I had was just sales ads. That was it.
Right.
Everything that I got in the mail,
you get your weekly circular from the newspaper.
Yeah,
right. You need to know that Boston butts $2.99 a pound.
Right, and we see this affecting everything. I mean, including, recently, I read about, malls and things like that. As we see e-commerce, come into place. And so, yeah. And speaking of stores, another department store is facing the reckoning of the current marketplace. Macy's announced plans to close 150 stores in the next 2 years.
I mean,
there we go.
As long as they keep their Thanksgiving parade.
Yeah, keep that. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Come on, Macy's.
Man, I wonder if we have a Macy's at Mall, Louisiana, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna get nixed. I honestly don't know. I couldn't tell you. The only thing I really know of at the Mall of Louisiana right now is the movie theater on the backside because I took my son to go see Sonic 3 over the Christmas break.
Yep.
And then I know Dick's moved because they used to have Dick's was on the other side, but like it was just freestanding Dick's, right?
Yeah.
It was not. Well, now they've moved and like Dick's is poking out of the mall. Like you get Dick's where and maybe it was JCPenney. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
I hadn't seen it since they moved then. Brian, we have to invoke the shark alligator rule this morning. Ormond, a 10-foot long, 637-pound great white shark, was recently tracked near Florida and appears to be headed towards Louisiana.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is something out of a horror movie, man.
I love the folks from O-Search.
Yeah.
They number one, it's 10-foot long shark, and they can tell you how much it weighs. Right. I mean, look. 637 pounds.
That's really specific, isn't it?
I really thought swimming was supposed to be the best exercise. But yeah, Ormond is looks like he's headed this way, which is awesome. Because we don't get great whites up the Gulf of Mexico too often.
No.
We certainly don't get them like if you're gonna see one in the Gulf of Mexico, it's like it wandered in from the Atlantic. Right? Not really trolling all the way to all the way to the mouth of the Mississippi.
You know? Louisiana.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ormond. Awesome. 611 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We are due up for a quick break. Before we take that break, though, got to remind you that today is the day. Highland, Kenilworth, get ready. Mathern's is home again. Yep. Should be the opening today. Now, it's not going to be a grand opening, okay? Don't expect the banners and the fanfare and the radio remotes and the giveaways and all that other. Not today. It's a soft opening today. But they've transitioned from previous ownership to themselves now, and the OG location of Mathern's for Baton Rouge is back in effect as of today. Going to be a lot of stocking of shelves. Going to be a lot of people working. Going to be a lot going on, a lot of movement over there. But if you need them, they're here for you. If you need them, they're here for you as of today. Used to be Kenilworth Supermarket back in the day. Became, was it Robert? Was it Robert that was over there? Well, now it's back. Mathern's is back home on Highland, right by Kenilworth. Now, don't forget, downtown, 3rd Street, still there for you. Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center on campus, still there for you. But if you're in that Kenilworth area, the family you love, the people, the prices you miss, they have come home as of today. It's Mathern's. Slide to the right. Slide to the left. Right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Now, flex. Flex. I got Cupid stuck in my head. I don't know why.
Is that the new one?
Yeah.
Let's see. 17.
Meh.
So just these two cuts, right?
Yeah. Cool. .616 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. It is sports time. Let's go ahead and start off with big news of the day. That is baseball and softball start conference play tonight. Check that. Start conference play this afternoon. Originally slated to be, I believe 6:30 was your slated first pitch for baseball. They did move up a little bit to avoid the weather. There is a chance that things could get nasty after 9 o'clock tonight. So why be in the 8th or ninth inning out there when you could be long since done? But LSU baseball 17-1 after your pre-conference schedule is done. The Tigers open up play this afternoon, taking on the Missouri Tigers. Coach Jay Johnson says his team is ready for this 30-game SEC grind.
There's a recognition that the competition level in our league is superior to everywhere in college baseball. And that's awesome because when you have good players that are confident and talented, that usually brings out the best in them. And that's what I'm excited, for league play. Other than that, it's really business as usual.
There are very few questions left as far as the roster is concerned as to who goes where and whatnot. A lot of things just got, solidified and hammered out during the non-conference schedule or pre-conference portion of the schedule. Luis Hernandez nailed down the starting catcher duties. Johnson says he has done a good job handling the pitchers, and he's done a good job at the plate as well.
Adds a lot to the table from what I would call a head and a heart standpoint, which behind the plate, that's really important. If you have the wrong person back there, even with the right skill set, your team and your pitching staff can't be as good as it needs to be. And he's the right person. Like from a person standpoint, I couldn't have picked a better person to bring into this team this year for what we needed.
Might still have some questions at third base as to who's going to be the everyday player there, whether it could be Tanner Reeves or Michael Braswell. Wow, blanked on the last name there for a second. But for the most part, your catcher's hammered out. That was one of the big questions coming into the season. Your weekend rotation looks pretty strong right now, although William Schmidt could be making a push to make his name a lot more prominent, the freshman from Catholic High. But first pitch tonight will be 4:30 p.m. over on our sister station, Eagle 98.1, right here on Talk 107.3 at 4:30 p.m. Oh, by the way, after today, looking ahead to tomorrow, tomorrow's game is still slated for 6. Now, you'd be asking yourself, why are they keeping a game at 6 o'clock? Tomorrow, when we had to reschedule the St. Patrick's Day parade, the Wear of the Green parade, and they're moving tonight's game up. Well, by 6 o'clock, it should be over with. Looking at the hour-by-hour forecast, and I haven't looked this morning, but I looked last night, and it appeared that 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we should be just about done with the rain. So give it a couple hours to dry out after that. Right here, 4:30 this afternoon, Beth Torina's Tigers, they're 24-1 over there at Tiger Park. They'll be taking on Kentucky. You'll hear that Patrick Wright on the call right here on Talk 107.3 FM. It's 6:20. Here's the Fox Business Report. I'm going to send you 3 cuts, and I want them in this segment. Looking to get Cassidy back on next week. I have to ask him a question. Is it weird? Sitting down in the Oval Office, sitting down with Donald Trump. Is it weird? I mean, to have a meeting with the guy that you voted to impeach twice? I have a feeling you're going to cancel the interview.
But you have to cancel it, you think?
He hasn't talked about it since it happened, and it happened 5 years ago.
Yeah.
4 years ago, whatever.
Yeah,
Baton Rouge. Traffic incident list. It's my turn against Byron. Okay. I'll open that up after the show. Start you up on the interstates, I-10 eastbound, in between College and the 10-12 split. Looks like there's some sort of hazard in the roadway. There's some minor congestion and blockage as a result of it. It's not showing any major delays, but I'm showing it not just on my map, but on my board as well. That I-10 eastbound. This one says in between College and Essen, which that's a pretty big stretch. But if you're heading eastbound, you might want to expect some delays. 12 westbound, we're looking good right now. Lighter than normal, to be sure. As you're coming in from Livingston Parish, you're going to see some added volume around O'Neill. But other than that, it's looking good to start off your morning. 10 westbound coming in from Ascension Parish looks great. 10 eastbound coming in from East Baton Rouge Parish looks great. And 110 looks great as well. Hopping off the interstates, you heard Ray report on it there. Could be some fog in the surrounding areas. We're under a dense fog advisory for this morning, so be on the lookout for that. Budget a little extra time if you're out of the house before the sun comes up, and with daylight savings time, we don't have sun up just yet. Hopping off the interstates, there's a stalled vehicle in the roadway, Nicholson at McClung. So be on the lookout for that one as well. That's your look at traffic from the Shawbill Star Traffic Center. $625. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. There was one other sports story we're going to get to, but I don't know if it's got legs or not. Is it possible that the LSU men's basketball season isn't over with yet? I don't want to just leave that floating out there, but there's the possibility of LSU going to the NIT. We'll hold off. We'll wait until after Selection Sunday. Because if it becomes a reality, then we'll talk about it. If not, there's really no use. But I heard something briefly yesterday. I was like, wow, as awful as this team looked in the conference schedule, the possibility that they might not be done is out there. And then the flip side of that is, remember how good they looked before the conference schedule? And that's essentially who they'd be playing in the NIT. So would you want to see them move on if they could? I'm of the opinion if you have the chance to play another game, you play another game. Because if you're one of the seniors that's moving on, this might be your last chance to pick up the ball in an organized fashion, unless you're going to the NBA or one of the other leagues. But and then conversely, if you're younger, if you're coming back to LSU next year, I would want every practice on the court possible. The same reason you go to a nondescript bowl game, you want those sessions of practice and you want that chance to compete every chance you can get. It's never a waste. So we'll talk about it Monday if it in fact it does become a thing. Meanwhile, It's looking like the government's not going to shut down, which is a good thing. The Senate Democrats seem to be on board with voting for the CR that's getting things passed to keep the government functioning for a while. They're in a weird spot, Senate Democrats are, because they don't like the continuing resolution. And at the same time, they know that if you don't vote for the continuing resolution, you're responsible for shutting down the government. Now, you and me, just average American citizens, that should be enough. That should be enough motivation for them is to protect us, the average American citizen. But unfortunately, it's not. And I'm going to get into that in just a quick second. Chuck Schumer, let's start with Chuck Schumer talking about the CR itself, the continuing resolution itself. Cut one, if you would.
While the CR bill is very bad, the potential for a shutdown has consequences for America that are much, much worse.
Okay, that as an American feels very reassuring to me. That as an American makes it feel like, you know what? Chuck Schumer's got my back because the government provides me with services that I can't live without. That makes me feel like he's there to represent the people. Sadly, that's not true. Sadly, it's not about protecting you and me and making sure that there's services available for us. It's about making sure you don't give Donald Trump any more power than he already has. Cut two.
A shutdown would give Donald Trump and Elon Musk carte blanche to destroy vital government services at a significantly faster rate than they can right now.
It's not about you and me. It's not about protecting the American people. It's about playing. They're not even playing chess. They're playing Hungry Hippos. It's about making sure that you know what blocked Donald Trump. Continuing along that line, cut three.
Under a shutdown, the Trump administration would have full authority to deem whole agencies, programs, and personnel non-essential, furloughing staff with no promise they would ever be rehired.
You mean it would give Doge a litmus test to see what's real? It would have been so much more reassuring to hear the People's Party, the Democrats, come out and say we can't have a shutdown because the people need us. But instead, Chuck Schumer comes out and says we can't have a shutdown because it might make Donald Trump look good. It's 6:30. Here comes news. That's why I don't talk national politics very often. What's the likelihood that any of the shit biscuits that call me a rhino heard that segment? Bad. Shit biscuits. Yes, you did hear me correct. I said shit biscuit. Well, Hey, good morning, Christy. Slide to the right. Slide to the left. Right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Hey, kill my mic. I gave you a phone number. Cute. Are we on Facebook? We got to be on Facebook if I'm getting texts from, Why can't I get to it? I guess just go to Talks page. I didn't get an alert this morning. That's why. Ooh, there I am. All right. Renee says Christmas cards. That's the only reason I buy stamps. Going back to the postal service. Yeah. You know what? It's legit. Here's the thing, though. You don't think we could find an alternate solution for that?
Of course we can.
Oh, Broderick. Well done, sir. We don't get any sharks in the Gulf of Mexico, but we do in the Gulf of America. And it's time to get a look at that forecast. Here's WBRZ meteorologist Timmy Kate Cowan. Yep, call him. Asaf, yeah. 638 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We're going to move from a national front to an international front. We will bring it back local here very, very shortly, but Hamas is offering up a truce with Israel for 5 to 10 years. When we have topics of this nature, we call upon Dr. Asaf Romirowsky to break this down. He's the Executive Director of Scholars for Peace in the Middle East. Welcome back, Dr. Romirowsky. How are you?
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
No, glad to have you back on to be talking about this. So what's the likelihood that this comes to fruition?
Well, with all due respect to Hamas, I'm highly doubtful that any of this will come to fruition. I mean, Hamas is a Islamist, terrorist, barbaric organization that is looking to maintain and sustain its own livelihood. And the only thing that's keeping them alive and the lifeline are whatever is left of the hostages. And we're talking about 59 between dead and alive. Still American hostages that are still in Gaza. One of the ones that we know for a fact that's still alive is Eden Alexander from New Jersey. There is discussion now that he might be released. But I think that Hamas is looking to do whatever it can to survive all of this and come out of the tunnels and say that they have won the war. So I'm skeptical of all of that. And furthermore, I would argue that if this indeed happens, the Israelis would not achieve the goal of the war. The war was to eradicate Hamas and to bring back the hostages. And so if Hamas survives this, that would be a huge blow for the Israelis.
Aside from the hostage you just mentioned, how involved is the U.S. in this? I mean, how much of this is the U.S.'s battle versus it's between Israel and Hamas?
The U.S. is very involved. I think that, the special envoy, Steve Witkoff, has been on the ground trying to deal with all of this. We did hear for the first time last week one of Adam Bowler, who was having direct negotiations with Hamas. That really was a little bit uneasy for the Israelis. American foreign policy and Israeli foreign policy to date is we do not negotiate with terrorist organizations. The fact that there were direct negotiations with Hamas, the Israelis not being around the table, some of the comments that were made all of this gives Hamas hope that they would be considered a legitimate entity. Since then, he's been removed from that role, given the fact of who Hamas is. But the majority of these negotiations have been happening through the interlocutors, the Egyptians and the Qataris. Mm-hmm. And that, I think, is where you'll see any kind of traction moving forward that the Israelis can agree with. The flip side of all of this is that, the question is, if this does not go forward, what does the resumption of the war actually mean? Well, at the same time, the Houthis have been threatening to continue the attacks coming in the Red Sea. We have concerns about what's happening in Syria and Lebanon as far as Hezbollah, the Iranians, and of course there is more, activity terrorist-wise within the areas of Judea and Samaria.
We're talking with Dr. Asaf Romirowsky about the possibility of a truce or at least a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, and the also possibility of returning of hostages. Let's see. This has evolved a lot over the course of the last week. I mean, it was Sunday that the news was something like a 5 to 10 year truce, and then yesterday we were learning more about a 60-day ceasefire. How are these two ends of this this equation so dramatically different?
Well, because of the outcome. I mean, let's be clear here. I mean, there's still a quasi-ceasefire that's still going on. It's been 2 to 3 weeks, but there has not been any hostage release. The Israelis went in to extend it after phase 1 ended with the idea of releasing all the remaining hostages and the bodies that are still in Gaza. There's a huge amount of pressure coming in domestically to try to release the hostages. I mean, again, we're talking about people. From all the evidence that we've seen, the amount of suffering and abuse that the released hostages have gone through over 500 days in these terror tunnels inside of Gaza. So there's mounting pressure to move this along. That being said, moving from a 5 to 10 year long-term truce, which is, again, part of what got the Israelis into this problem to begin with, to a 50, 60-day trying to move along some kind of calm, because the next part of this conversation, which is where the pressure is coming in from Washington and the negotiations between Washington and Jerusalem, is what does the rehabilitation of Gaza look like? And what kind of partners do we have to try to disentangle whatever is part of the civilian population, such as it is, from Hamas?
I don't want to make this all about the Hamas side, because there is the Israeli side in this as well. Is Israel a lot more willing to move forward than Hamas is?
I think that the Israelis are willing to move along a process that makes sense when it comes to the safety of their hostages. That being said, there are also domestic concerns about, as far as I mentioned before, the objective of the war. The main sticking point has been the Philadelphia route, which is that corridor that it borders with the Egyptian side, which is where all the smuggling is coming back from. The Israelis have argued, and I would argue correctly, that leaving that security zone would basically allow for more oxygen to come into Gaza. Currently, to date, as a result of the stalemate, the Israelis stopped the aid and they cut off some of the electric power going into Gaza as a result of Hamas trying to resume terrorism and attacks on the Israelis. And so there's an attempt to put pressure on whatever is left of the Hamas leadership to move along this process. But let's be clear here. All of this is part of the multi-front war with Iran. All of these are the enemies of the United States. And, giving these individuals a lifeline is not something that they can live with. This is a war Israel has never fought before. It is the longest war Israel has ever fought since its existence back in, since it came to fruition back in 48, 49. And this is really, to my mind, Israel's second war of independence. And this is a organization that is committed to Israel's destruction, and they can't go back. They can't go back to a pre-10/7 reality without changing the entire calculus on the ground.
Last one before I get you out of here, and I appreciate your time this morning. And that is crystal ball this one for me, handicap it for me. What's the likelihood that we actually see some sort of movement within the next week that brings some hostages home and extends the ceasefire?
I do believe that there's a lot of pressure coming in from the Trump administration. A lot of this, shifted when Trump took office, and I think that is very clear. And it's very clear to Hamas that there is a new sheriff in town as far as how business is being conducted. My hope is, and it seems like that they are close, as I said, especially when it comes to the American hostage, who we know is alive, Eden Alexander from New Jersey, who will be released hopefully in the next 10 days. I think that if Israel starts seeing more hostages being released again, given the fact that we haven't seen any in the past 2 to 3 weeks now, then there will be more incentive to extend the ceasefire.
He is Dr. Asaf Romirowsky, Executive Director of Scholars for Peace in the Middle East. We appreciate a couple minutes this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're at 6:46, coming up on 6:47 to Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Going to stay on time so we can meet up with Your Money Now at 6:50. And then the folks from Lake Urgent Care hopping on board at 6:50, or right after the Your Money Now report. Did you get this guy's first name too? Okay. Pronunciation. Boudicca? All right. Yeah, I've got the spelling. I just need the pronunciation. Oh. Boudicca. All right. Now, and I've got the sheet of notes I can hand you for this one so you don't have to run through. Physician assistant and director of advanced practice clinicians at Lake Urgent Care. Yeah. I need a massage. Carrying way too much stress in my upper back. Anything happening over on the Facebook live chat? Because talking Israel and Hamas just glazes me over. Like, I don't have the bandwidth to dial in to the level necessary to walk away with any solid take. And I'm not one of those ones that pretends like I know. Like Kramer and Newman playing Risk, you know? A game of world domination being played by two men who can't run their own lives. Have you considered a bro or a man's-ear? No. I'm carrying stress. Stress, Troy. That probably doesn't help that I do lift a lot. So I'm constantly like tired on that front. So we missed by an entire minute. No, we were right on 6:47. The problem was we probably should have gotten out for 6:46. If the stop set was all 3 minutes plus a minute of traffic. That's and that's something that I can't access. That's got to come from your side to know what's in it. I could with my old laptop. I don't have the software on my new one, and they haven't installed it for me, which I'm not happy with.
I thought it was 47 when you had an interview, and then 46 whenever.
No, it's when I have a live read, which you had on my sheet that I have a live read, so it should have been 6:52. Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Time for us to get caught up with folks over at Lake Urgent Care. Today we've got Lance Fudiker. He is the physician assistant and director of advanced practice clinicians over at Lake Urgent Care. And Lake Urgent Care might be a bit of a misnomer this morning. They do a whole lot more than just urgent care. Got a fantastic weight loss program they've been working on, and we're not just talking about the weight loss itself. It's the habit forming, the lifestyle changing habit forming of habits that can make your weight loss last. Lance, good morning. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Good morning, sir. I'm doing great this morning. How are you guys over at the station?
We're doing very well as well. All right. Give me the quick overview. What does Lake Urgent Care's medical weight loss program look like?
So we have a weight loss program that's designed to help patients, of course, lose weight in a safe, sustainable way. We use medications like semaglutide, tirzepatide. These are the same active ingredients that you know as Ozempic and Majerno. Here at Lake Urgent Care, we just don't hand out prescriptions and send people on their way. We take generally a more hands-on approach with regular check-ins, lab work, personalized support.
We're seeing the Ozempics and the Manjaros and all the GLP-1 stuff is so super popular right now, but it's that second part that really makes the difference, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. It sure does. It absolutely does.
I mean, because the first part is just it's basically the latest trend. But unless you're changing your lifestyle, you're going to be right back where you needed a second time. But
that's it.
The medicine.
That's exactly right. These medications really help kind of regulate your appetite and help our body really, in layman's terms, process sugar. These medications generally help you kind of feel fuller longer and reduce those cravings and how your body uses insulin. It's just not about eating less. It's more about resetting your metabolism to work more efficiently with our program.
But you do eat less.
You do eat a good bit less. And it really makes you realize how much food you really don't need to maintain a good, healthy physique and healthy appetite, helping regulate things like your blood pressure and your A1C. These are the leading things that cause diabetes. As you know, we watch these particular numbers.
How eye-opening is that for the patient? I mean, we're on the phone right now at the beginning of crawfish season, where you don't eat till you're full, you eat till you're tired. It's here in Louisiana. We have those trends and traditions, to be sure. How eye-opening is it when you first get that realization that, man, I was doing just fine after 2 pounds of crawfish. I don't need 5 more.
That's exactly right. It's a big difference. It's a big difference for the patient in many different ways when they sit down and could eat a meal that normally, like you say, they would have eaten 5 pounds of crawfish, and now they're eating 2 pounds, but they're not seeing the incidence of increased weight, edema, those type of things from eating all that sodium that we would normally see during crawfish season.
We got Lance Fudiker with us from Lake Urgent Care, talking a little bit about their weight loss programs. All right, let's talk about differentiating factors here. What sets y'all apart from other weight loss clinics?
We generally take a more focused approach. We look at the patient's lab works. We look at consultations that generally are on a monthly basis. We give those patients a good diet, recommendations for exercise, what kind of eating plan. We try to tailor that for that patient's need, whether it's a Mediterranean style diet or a sugar buster style diet, really determining on what those patients like to eat and, their lifestyle, what works for them.
How important is that personalization part? Because when you see fad diets and trend diets, it makes it sound like everyone can do this because it's so all encompassing. But the truth of the matter is that we all have our own unique makeups and body styles and really the way we break things down.
I can see people that exercise hard, they diet correctly. But when we draw those labs and we can look at their insulin levels and their hemoglobin A1Cs and see that they're hypertensive, then we can make that program tailor to them to help with their insulin. And that is what everybody knows as one of the common denominators known as metabolic syndrome. So those patients that generally are doing all the things right, but not accomplishing those goals is directly related to this. These particular medications help control that, and they help control their insulin, and it regulates it, and they start seeing really nice reductions in weight loss. We have some patients that we've had on the program that are seeing 40, 60, 80 pounds of reduction in weight. And those things are so important because every 10 pounds of weight loss we see, we can generally see a 5 to 10 point decrease in their systolic blood pressure or 2 to 5 point decrease in their diastolic blood pressure. And that is huge for these patients.
No, absolutely it is. And not just in the short term, in the long term as well, when you're talking lifespan and long-term or late life health, to be sure. All right, go ahead.
Absolutely, Brian. You know, what we're talking about here is that patient's cost to their health care. It reduces their hospitalizations. If those patients are diabetic, it prevents them from progressing rapidly, you know, and preventing some person that would have bad diabetes for maybe going on to dialysis or having other complications that we all know diabetes contributes to.
Last one before we get you out of here. Where can folks go if they want to learn more?
So we have multiple locations in the Baton Rouge area. We have our Denham Springs locations. We have our Highland and Airline location. We also have our Drusilla locations. They can also go to all the details on our website at lakeurgentcare.com.
Lance Fudiker with Lake Urgent Care. Thank you so much for a couple minutes this morning.
You betcha, Brian. You have a great day and healthy eating to everyone.
I appreciate it, and the same to you, sir. It's 7 o'clock. Here's news. Nailed it. John, you look at the clock. You know, 1 hour. 1 hour till we completely lose control. 1 hour till we completely lose control, dude. You should be nervous. I'm nervous. There's no chance we're maintaining control this morning.
You sure?
100%.
Might keep it on the rails.
No,
This might be
no, and I'm gonna tell you why.
This Friday might be.
I'm gonna tell you why. You got conference baseball in the box.
Yeah.
You got St. Patrick's Day. He's making a potato po' boy because St. Patrick's Day is Monday, and because we can't eat meat during Lent.
I'm really
on Fridays.
I'm really looking forward to that. How is that? Yeah,
a potato po' boy, French fries.
Potato po' boy.
Yeah, what I want to know is he putting the like debris on it? Because debris has roast beef in it. Now you're eating meat. So
no, he's gonna have some. I'm sure he's gonna have some alternative, right?
Patrick says, why do they make you wait until you're a diabetic before they'll pay for the RX? Damn good question.
Yeah, I mean,
so the answer is volume, dude. The answer is volume. Fewer people, you have to pay for fewer people. They'd have to pay for everybody to get the Ozempic. If they open it up to everybody. But what they're not taking into account is the long-term cost. If you're waiting until you get diabetes, you got to take the diabetes medicine. You got to take hypertension medicine. You got to take your blood pressure medication. Like they have to pay for so many other medications, and then you're doing the weight loss retroactively in the hopes of knocking your blood pressure down, in the hopes of balancing out your blood sugar. There's no guarantee that the weight loss makes that happen. Once that door's kicked open, you don't know if you're going to get it closed. So, damn good point, Patrick. Damn good point. I know what bumpers I want in the 8 o'clock hour.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah,
you know now.
Just one, and I want it on repeat. I want it for every break, coming back in at 8:15, at 8:35, and at 8:52. The name of the song is McNamara's Band.
McNamara's Band.
Yeah,
that's the song. That's the song.
Don't make me hate you.
Is there a specific version? Because it looks like it's been covered a few times. Bing Crosby.
Bing Crosby's the one.
Okay, because there's another.
Yep. I'm going to hear that song 100 times on Sunday. .705 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you, John LaBeouf producing. We're starting off your second hour, holding at 68 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. We got a busy hour for you this hour. We're going to speak with the head coach of the Baton Rouge Zydeco at 7:35. They're back on the ice now after Mardi Gras is over with. So you had all the balls and whatnot in the River Center, so change things up. They take a pause in their schedule around that time. So now that the Zydeco are back on the ice, we'll talk about them. And before we get to the Zydeco, we got Daniel Erspamer from the Pelicans who's going to hop on board in our next segment. What's he talking about? Well, I tell you what, that actually dovetails with top stories and trending. Yeah.
Number 5. Number 5.
A judge has ruled that a lawsuit challenging the upcoming election with Constitutional Amendment 2 on the ballot can move forward. Louisiana's Attorney General Liz Myrtle said in a statement she plans to seek emergency relief from the Louisiana Supreme Court, and that relief has to happen quickly. Why?
Number 4.
Early voting opens tomorrow for the March 29th election. A little bit late to challenge something in court, if you ask me, but Amendment 2 is on the ballot, along with 3 other amendments, because there are 4 total. Statewide, you'll have 4 amendments to vote on. Here locally in St. George, they'll be voting on a mayor, council members, and a home rule charter.
Number 3.
Wednesday evening, state police said St. Gabriel police officers tried to stop a 2013 Chevy Camaro when the driver refused to stop and instead sped up going west on Highway 30. That driver then crashed into a car that was attempting to turn onto Bluebonnet Boulevard. State police said the driver, 24-year-old Jeremiah Downing, and in the passenger seat was 22-year-old Hunter LaGrange. They were both killed in the crash. Now, the driver of the other vehicle suffered serious injuries, was taken to the hospital.
Number 2.
Police officers are investigating a double shooting that happened Thursday afternoon at a Hooper Road apartment complex. BRPD said 2 people were taken to the hospital after they were shot at Square One Apartments shortly before 4:30 p.m. Both of them, neither one is likely. They both have non-life-threatening injuries.
Number 1.
GMFS, a Baton Rouge-based mortgage lender, said it has reached a deal to buy the business from Ready Capital Corp. Financial terms of the deal were not disclosed. T. Brown, president of GMFS, said the purchase should close 75 to 90 days and should lead to some growth from within. What's trending, John?
All right. Postmaster General Louis DeJoy says he plans to give the USPS cut close to 10,000 jobs to stay in line with DOJ's recommendations.
Yeah.
So they're looking to cut.
Yeah.
Make some serious
because
cuts
the
there,
Postal Service hadn't been trimmed down enough because it's 2025 and we still have to mail each other. That's can't send a text, can't send an email. Wait, email? Mail? Right there in the word? What? Yes. I know when I sit down to pen a letter to someone, I often do that. I have the old school pen where I dip in the ink and it's got the quill on the end of it. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yes. Oftentimes I'll sit at my desk.
Oh, that's how you do it. Because all of the notes you give me are that's how they're done. And I was wondering how you did it.
Yeah. See how it gets light towards the end of that line?
Right.
I have to re-dip it again.
Yeah, I see
and
that.
re-dip it again.
Man.
Yeah.
Another department store is facing the reckoning of the current marketplace. Macy's announced plans to close 150 stores in the next 2 years.
Okay, so you and I both learned in the last hour that neither one of us knows if they still have one at the Mall of Louisiana.
I mean,
I feel bad that I don't know.
I know.
And John, you want to know what makes it worse? We both had an hour to look it up, and neither one of us did.
We did.
I got way too the discussion. So, and I was over by the mall not too long ago.
Right.
Wife and I went to Shake Shack.
Yeah.
And all I saw there was that we drove past Dick's. They were moving their Dick's around. They're over at the Mall of Louisiana. It used to be on the backside,
right?
By the it had like Ulta Beauty and everything that's back there. Well, now it looks like it's gonna be part of the actual mall structure for the Dick's Sporting Goods.
Okay.
So is Macy's still there?
So I'm seeing that it is still there.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just not a store I frequently visit, or
I'm not a regular mall goer.
Right.
It's like I'm not going to Forever 21. I'm not going to Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
I'm not 80, so I'm not power walking past an Auntie Anne's.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Give it a few more years. Then you'll know if Macy's is still there.
Yeah. Maybe
30 or 40 more years,
Well, look, here's the thing, though. If Macy's is going to whittle down 150 stores, what does that mean for the parade? Like, are they still in position to put that thing on and televise it nationally? And
I would hope it wouldn't affect that.
I would be more concerned with losing the parade than losing the stores, right?
Yeah.
It's just not Thanksgiving without it.
Maybe they could just move in the direction where Macy's becomes just the parade.
But the parade is there to advertise for the store.
I know. Maybe they could just, I don't know. Some changes could be made, right?
I suppose.
I guess.
I mean, can Amazon buy it?
Hey.
That stings.
You never know.
What else you got going on?
We have to invoke the shark alligator rule this morning, Brian.
Damn right we do.
Ormond, a 10-foot long, 637-pound great white shark, was recently tracked near Florida and appears to be headed towards Louisiana. All 600.
We do not often get 637, excuse me.
Yes.
637-pound, 10-foot long great white sharks. We don't often get great whites in the Gulf.
No.
But look, Armand heard about the Gulf of America.
That's it.
Heard about the renaming.
It's like
wanted to make a visit. Well, I gotta go visit that.
Yeah.
Never seen the Gulf of America before.
Say less.
Yeah.
On my way.
Let's swing on by.
Yeah.
By the way, 637 pounds. That's
very specific. Right?
Remarkably specific. You stay 637?
Right.
Swimming's supposed to be good exercise.
Should be.
Why isn't Ormond a little bit leaner?
Come on. Maybe that'll change. Yeah. Maybe by the time he makes that trek.
Could be. coming in hot from Florida.
Yeah.
That's
hopefully he's not bringing any other ones with him, right?
I need to hop on O search. Okay, all kidding aside.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a shark nerd.
Yeah.
So yes.
Shark Week is like that's your thing.
Oh, Shark Week.
Yeah.
Yes. Shark Week on Discovery for the best words you can hear.
Yeah.
For the best words you can hear. Shark Week on Discovery. The other 4 best words you can hear: pitchers and catchers report. You tell me it's spring training, I'm here. Yeah. You tell me it's Shark Week, I'm here. Next Thursday is going to be off the chain. March Madness. There's certain events on the calendar.
Yeah.
Shark Week is one of the non-sporting events that I so look forward to. But here's the thing. All kidding aside, the folks over at O-Search, the way they tag and track all the sharks. I mean, you learn so much more about them when you follow their patterns and whatnot. But I need to go hop on there and see if I could follow Ormond's pattern. See if he's gonna be swooping through like Panama City, maybe making a stop off at Club La Vila. I don't even know if that place still exists.
Much like Macy's, right?
Yeah. You stop at 30A. Ormond's gonna pop in over at 30A before making his way towards Louisiana. We had a break because we got Daniel Erspamer coming up in our next segment. We're going to talk about the constitutional amendments, primarily number 2. Before we take that break, we got to remind you about the folks over at Landmark Bank. LandmarkBankLA.com. LandmarkBankLA.com is the website. Don't just have a bank, have a banker. Where are you going to find Landmark Bank? You're going to find them in the surrounding areas around Baton Rouge. The suburbs, if you will. The Greensburgs, the Denham Springs, the Zacharys, the Brewleys.
Yes, sir.
And they're there by design. They got started over 100 years ago, and they believe in personal banking. They believe in community banking. They believe that when you walk through the front door, that person you're shaking hands with, that person's there to actually help you and be your banker. Check them out online at landmarkbankla.com. All right, count it down. It is now 45 minutes until we lose control, John.
Come on, we might, you know.
I have no faith this morning. I have no faith. Oh, man.
Oh, I was thinking about this. So we missed an event yesterday on this day in history. It was the 13th, March. That's when lockdown started.
We had that.
We did?
Oh, no, we had all sports stuff involved.
Yeah.
March Madness was called off. NHL shut down their season.
Yeah.
Because the day before we had Rudy Gobert testing positive, which caused the NBA to shut it down. So, yeah, we had all the peripherals,
Okay,
not the actual. Hey, you know, there's a national day behind 314.
I didn't look up the national days yet. Is it like a
There's
national day, or is it something that's kind of?
There's 2 of them. One of them is 3.14, Pi Day.
Right.
The other one is not fit for air.
What's it?
The other one's not fit for air.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. Now, the other one, let's just say if you're Catholic, you can't participate in it this year because you have to abstain from meat on Fridays during Lent.
And you can't say it on air?
No. The first part of it's a steak, though.
No.
You don't know about this? You never heard of this before? Okay.
Not that I'm aware. That's today?
That's today.
Well, let me text you. I think my wife has to know about this thing.
Oh, the thumbnail you sent, the only thing I would add is to have something say on the phone. I don't want the misconception that, like, I don't want somebody looking for Julia Letlow to click on and just see my mug. Sorry, I shouldn't be throwing you that in the middle of the show.
No, which one was that? Was that the one I made upstairs, or is that the one I sent last night?
It was the one you sent last night.
Okay. That was just an experiment. I didn't post that anywhere.
Okay.
That was just me messing around, wanting to get.
Well, and the other reason I would like it to stay on the phone is because if we have that built out, they can go up there as well. So
yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of pick your brain with it.
Yeah, no, it's all gonna be a work in progress for a while.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'll do that then. I'll start. Yeah. Yeah, that was just something I was messing with, like, kind of experimenting.
$7:18 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Early voting opens tomorrow for the March 29th election. So let's get caught up to speed with a few of the things that are on the ballot. We've got Daniel Erspamer from the Pelican Institute with us. Daniel, welcome back. How are you, man?
Hey, Brian, I'm great. How are you?
Doing very well as well. I guess we should start with constitutional amendment number 2 and then hope we can get to the other ones, because we know that 2 is probably going to have the biggest effect on our lives.
Absolutely. Big opportunity, big effect. Here are the basics. Constitutional Amendment 2 lowers the maximum rate of income tax allowed in the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
It would pay off about $2 billion in debt in order to make permanent the teacher pay raise. It doubles the standard deduction for our senior citizens, people 65 and older, and it implements a government growth limit, which will ensure that recurring spending doesn't grow faster than our ability to pay for it, faster than the economy. And it really does what you and I have talked for years now about, the Constitution, and it does the right thing by streamlining at least one part, Article 7, of our Constitution to really get us in a place to let our economy hum.
There's some pushback already from some folks, particularly in the religious community, that are worried that they're going to be subject to property taxes in the future. What can you say to dispel their issues?
Yeah, whenever you're doing big things, there's going to be some pushback.
Mm-hmm.
But here are the facts, and I think Julie Emerson has a great piece in the Center Square, Louisiana, yesterday that explains some of this. Here are the facts. If Amendment 2 passes, hoping it does, later this month, nothing will change for churches.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the constitutional language gets even stronger to protect places of worship and parsonages and seminaries. And all of the details, this is what we've been talking about for years. Our Constitution is riddled with these details that ought to be in statute. The religious exemptions the property tax exemptions for religious institutions moves into statute, and it is protected by a requirement that both chambers of the legislature would have to have a 2/3 vote and the signature of the governor to change anything. That's an incredibly high threshold. Churches, religious institutions, ministries are absolutely protected. There really is nothing to these claims that somehow this is going to lead to the taxation of churches.
Yeah, it should be a red flag when you're reading about it and you see words like could. It's not
That's right.
Could versus will are two completely different things right there. And Kyle, when I was talking about it the other day, I cannot quantify what level of political suicide it would be for the politician who would put that up for a vote to begin with. It's never going to get a 2/3 vote on either side. It's never going to get a governor's signature. But the politician who moves forward to say, hey, guys, let's start putting some property tax down on churches, he's done. He's done forever in politics if whoever steps up and says that is done so.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, it's sort of an absurd notion, really, probably in most any state, but certainly in Louisiana, to think that there would ever be that kind of support for taxing churches. I mean, it really is. You want to. Then I get it. You want to make laws to outside of the current political reality, but I don't think there's any political reality that we could even fathom today that would lead to that outcome.
There's also a challenge for amendment number 2 in the courts right now. Attorney General Liz Murrill doing her best to work through that. Challenger, no. Early voting opens tomorrow, so we just proceed as if, right?
Absolutely. This lawsuit really, look, when you've got something that's popular, this garnered 85% of the legislature's vote. Every single senator from every party voted for this constitutional amendment. So when you're up against that, the thing you do to try to beat it is to create fear and confusion. And that's really what this lawsuit is about. But it is absolutely critical. It's going to be a low turnout election. Every vote is going to matter. So it's really important for folks to get out, whether it's early voting starting Saturday or on election day, March 29th, to get out and vote yes for this amendment.
Throughout my adult life, every time we've turned to our state legislature to make any cuts anywhere, anytime a governor's proposed a budget with cuts anywhere, healthcare and higher ed are always in the crosshairs. And, well, that's because constitutionally it had to be. Rewriting of Article 7, does that open things up to where healthcare and higher ed won't be the only targets in the future?
Absolutely. That is one of the very important sort of procedural, structural things that Amendment 2 will do, is free up these locked up funds in the Constitution. You and I have talked about it, something between 85 and 90% of our $50 billion state budget are locked up, are pre-decided. And that's exactly what happens, is healthcare and higher ed are the ones on the chopping block. So this makes sure our lawmakers that we send to do this actually have the ability to make priority decisions about where to spend our tax money, rather than it being pre-decided before they walk in the door.
That being said, does a rewording or a rewriting of Article 7, does that table the discussion about a constitutional convention?
I hope not. This is probably the biggest chunk of the Constitution that needs work. But what I hope this will do, when we see the success of this, when we see what value it brings to people, to the legislative process, that it encourages the legislature, the people, to have more comfort by looking at other pieces of the Constitution to do the same thing. So the whole Constitution needs work. This is a really big piece of it, an important piece of it. I hope this is just the start of constitutional reform in Louisiana.
We're talking with Daniel Erspamer from the Pelican Institute. Yeah, I know the freeing up to where other departments or other items can get cuts, moving them from constitutionally protected to statute. That's all it took to sell me on this one. And knowing that we're not tabling the discussion on a constitutional convention, but we're buying ourselves a little time to where, you're not going to have a rushed constitutional convention, to be sure. It feels like this is hitting on all cylinders.
I absolutely agree. This is critical. It's exciting that we're finally at a place to do this. A lot of folks have been talking about these ideas for years, for decades. This is a huge moment for Louisiana to finally get it done.
Got to bring up the potential hazard here, Daniel, and that is a lot of what got passed in the last legislative session, which is law now, lowering our income tax down to 3%, bumping up the sales tax a little bit. That is the way it is right now. But I feel like this, without constitutional amendment number 2, our legislature is very limited in what they could do moving forward to continue lowering our income tax.
No question about it. I mean, the risk of failure here, not only does it mean the halting of our progress on continuing to lower and streamline taxes for everyone, which, if this passes, frees up resources to continue to push those rates lower. The other threat here is it doesn't free up resources in that budget to represent priorities, and it doesn't pay off that debt in order to get teacher pay permanent. So we're back to the sort of seesaw and big pendulum swings of budgeting and discussions over teacher pay, and likely means certainly a stoppage of the effort to continue to lower taxes. And it could well lead to higher taxes if they can't get that budget figured out, because of the very reasons you just outlined.
No, 100% it could lead to higher taxes if it doesn't pass, because they've kind of painted themselves into a corner to where we really, really, really need this. The analogy I've been making, Daniel, is that we're off and running. We're driving down the interstate right now. Voting no on amendment number 2 doesn't stop the car; it just kicks the driver out of his seat.
Yeah, that's a great and terrifying image, but you're absolutely right.
Does the Pelican Institute have any takes on the other 3 amendments that are out there?
Yeah, we're recommending a yes vote on 1, 2, and 4. We don't have a formal opinion on number 3, but there's lots of opportunity here across the board.
And before we get you out of here, today is the 14th of March, so we are 17 days away from Solution Summit.
Absolutely. You're going to be there. It's going to be great fun at the Hilton in downtown Baton Rouge. We'll announce some of the speakers starting on Monday, but a great opportunity, April 1st. Registration, we still have some spots open. We do expect it to sell out this year. So you can go to pelicanpolicy.org and click on that Get Involved button to find all the details on the Solution Summit on April 1st.
I can't wait, man. It's like and I know the audience has heard me say this a billion times, but I go from Washington Mardi Gras to Lobby's annual meeting to y'all Solution Summit, and then I'm ready for the legislative session on every front. Like there's nothing I don't know at that point.
Well, and it's kind of like Rocky running up the steps of the museum, right?
Yes.
I mean, you're kind of getting pumped up and ready to go.
Absolutely. Hey, before I get you out of here, I know you you live in Uptown New Orleans. You'll be out in Metairie on Sunday?
You know, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it or not, but
Argus rolls at 10, and then we march right after that.
All right. Well, I got to come and see you then.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Come on out, man. We'll see you on Sunday.
Sounds great. I appreciate you.
He is Daniel Erspamer from the Pelican Suit. Appreciate you too, man. We'll talk soon. 729 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. All right. If you don't have your lunch plans yet, let me recommend P.F. Chang's. If you don't have your dinner plans for tonight, let me recommend P.F. Chang's. Oh, look, Catholics abstaining from meat on Fridays during Lent. Some fantastic shrimp dishes. And salmon dishes as well. All with Asian-inspired flair on the P.F. Chang's menu. They've got you covered during Lent. I know every time I talk about P.F. Chang's, I'm probably talking about the sesame beef or the Mongolia beef. No, look up the dynamite shrimp. Fantastic. And like I said, the salmon dishes they have as well. I got to try them last time I was in there. Blown away by it. P.F. Chang's has got you covered throughout Lent. You know where to find them. They're in Town Center off Corporate Boulevard. You know what to look for. You look for the giant golden horse. Sign up for rewards. Start earning Chang's cash right now. P.F. Chang's has got you covered. Quick break for news, traffic, and weather. We're talking Baton Rouge, Zydeco next. Come on in. Doing well. Yeah. How much of a strain is that put on a small name's budget? Oh.
Pretty good one. Should be a couple.
Ooh. Oh
yeah.
Oh. Who is that?
Elias Thompson. He'll be fighting tonight too. I guarantee it. The team we're playing tonight. Last time we went there, they kind of pushed us around. He wasn't around. He was on call up. We also got hit with the call up bug right when we were in the middle of all that. How we doing? How we doing? See you in a bit. Definitely. So yeah, it'll be a big weekend here. It's playoff. We're right in playoff contention still, so it should be an exciting hockey this weekend here for sure.
Just saw the text from Michelle.
Yeah,
Someone let you in.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a bad tournament. Yeah, it's supposed to be bad weather today, huh?
Overnight, and then again tomorrow during the day, early day. Just make sure John has it right. 2 T's in your name, right?
2 T's,
okay.
yeah. 2 T's and no E.
No E.
No E in the end. Some people put
on the end.
Some people put the E on.
I would not have put an E on the
someone
end.
Who I'm actually like named after has an E on the end, so it's like very. You see it sometimes. It's not modern. I don't think it's as like popular. Like a lot of like little kids are getting named it now. I'm finding, and they have no E at the end. So good job, fellas. I like met my first ever Everett like just like last year. Like I was like, oh wow, you have the same name. That's
All right, so we'll talk about schedule. Talk about how the team's doing. I do want to talk about how it is quite the slog to go on the road that long. But okay.
I obviously won't get too negative into it, but I'll just talk about how how hard of a hassle it is to travel.
Well, I think it's kind of a call to action for Baton Rouge to say, it's we have this team, and this is kind of a sacrifice they do to make sure they're here. We can reciprocate by coming out once they're back in town. Now that they're back, come back out now that they're back in town.
Yes.
Let
me find those last dates we have too. We got this, then we have 2 more weekends before regular season. We're on the road for the next weekend and the weekend after. Then we're done on the road.
We will we'll talk about winning on the ice. Can we talk attendance?
I don't know the numbers by state, but they
don't need to have exact numbers, just to know that we haven't seen significant drop off from last year to this year.
We've seen some, but not significant.
Yeah.
No. They're similar. We can still get similar numbers if we really pack it.
Yeah. And I don't know if we have time for it today, but at some point I want to have the discussion about y'all getting your own place. I know that sounds pie in the sky, but with all the talk about revamping the River Center, y'all would end up being odd man out. And there's no way in hell LSU would let ice be put in to a revamp or a brand new Maravich Assembly Center.
No.
So,
yeah,
it's
just the math at that point.
Yeah, but it's like how, and this is all off the air. Like, how quickly can y'all become a Baton Rouge staple to where it's like we can't let the Zydeco go?
It'll definitely be an interesting next. I know that the River Center is going through some big changes to like the whole thing. I think even the management side will be changed, which will be interesting to see how that all plays out. Just because you never know who's going to come in and what. I don't think he's going, but I think they're having disputes in like the next year. I don't think it's necessarily like a change, but I know their contracts are all because ours is up in a year, theirs is up in the same year, so it's all.
Wayne's been killing it. He's been great.
I like Wayne. Wayne does a good job. It's just like I said, we just got that 2-month travel thing. It'd be nice to somehow figure out how to get a weekend or 2.
Yeah. Might still have some fog to deal with out there, but let's get a look at your overall forecast. Here's Emma Kate Cowan. stupid wire. I'm gonna end up ruining these headphones because the wire keeps getting caught under the thing. 738 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We got about 25 minutes until we just lose complete control of the show. Rocco's in the house today. Oh, I know it's coming. I'm bracing for it. I'm ready for it. But from a radio perspective, it's like being punched in the face repeatedly, which kind of transitions us over to hockey. Want to welcome Everett Thompson back to the show, the Baton Rouge Zydeco coach. Welcome back, Coach. How are you?
How we doing? It's great to be back.
Great to have you. Oh, yeah, dude. The Baton Rouge Zydeco schedule, the most popular word on the Baton Rouge Zydeco schedule is at Biloxi, at Danville, at Athens, at. Welcome home.
Thank you. It's great to be back. Yeah.
Okay, so for those that don't know, in order to make the Baton Rouge Zydeco schedule work, y'all have to go on a really, really extended road trip. Explain the how and the why behind that.
Yeah, so around January is when the Mardi Gras stuff, I believe, starts to happen. So that's when, unfortunately for us, we got to go on the road as the River Center gets used for a ton of events during that duration. So, it's very busy there. So that's when we hit the road. And, we had a lot of home games in the beginning there. So it just kind of works out that way.
But you're back now.
Oh, definitely. We are.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about, actually, before we get into being back home, I want to stick with that road schedule just a little bit, because this league at this level, I mean, with your guys, with your team, it puts a toll on you a little bit.
It's definitely difficult, on the road for 2 months is hard. I mean, it's a lot of games, a lot of weekends away from here. It's, you miss you're not with your family or, even your friends here that you develop over this course of the season. It's one of those things where you don't really realize it as much until you're finally home. And it's like, wow, this is awesome to be in front of your fans again. It's such a relief.
Why? And that's look, as that's part of what y'all put in to be here, to be part of us, to be part of Baton Rouge. If that's the investment y'all are making, then Baton Rouge needs to reciprocate and say, hey, we've got the Zydeco back. Let's go out and watch, let's go out and watch a little hockey, which we can now once again do.
Oh, definitely. No, we have one of the most passionate fan bases here. We know that. You can look at it anywhere on LSU stuff, but I mean, even our fan base that we're developing here and growing every game is they're very passionate. They're very loud. They're very proud, and we're very happy to have them. And we're hoping that even more people join the bandwagon here as we're making our playoff push.
Now, we set all kinds of records last year in the Zydeco's first year for attendance. I'm not looking for specific numbers. We'll tally all that up once the season's over with. But I know as coach, your focus is on the ice, but looking up in the stands, does it look like there's any kind of drop-off this year?
Drop-off, I think there's always going to be a little bit, but nothing significant. I think we can still be around the same numbers similarly, especially the last couple of home games here, if we really, get the numbers up here. And I think it's something that, now we're not competing with football as much here.
Yeah.
Not as many things going on. I think some of the fans can come out here and really enjoy something maybe they haven't seen yet. Still, I know it's year 2, but it's still really early. So if you haven't seen a Zydeco game yet, it's a perfect time to come by here.
Well, the return to action was actually last night and came home with a win.
Correct.
I let's stick on that part. Y'all are winning this year.
We are winning.
Last year it was all about having you here. This year it's like, let's start seeing results, and y'all are showing results.
Yeah, I think one of those things that came from last year is at the end of the year we started to, find some success on the score sheet, and the wins started to come, and then we transitioned that into this year as well. And the guys have worked really hard. We've got some core guys here that have really worked extremely hard in the off season. They're working really hard this season to develop their games here, and we're really proud of those guys for getting us to where we're at here. And we're, like I said, with a little bit of fan support here, we could really make that playoff push something special here.
Give me some names. Run down some of the players that folks would look for when they show up. We all want to be fans of somebody. Who are we looking for? What jersey numbers are we looking for once we get there?
Yeah, you got Elijah Wilson, you got Elias Thompson. He's throwing down every night here for us. A huge guy for us in the community as well. You got on the back end here, we got Kim Mietten in here. You got Scott Sherrock, who's a staple in the community. Jake Cox, staple in the community here. Shane Haggerty, big body going to the net here. And then, in the net here, you got Bailey Stevens and newly acquired Sammy Bernard here. We got a really good group of guys here, guys that really compete for each other here and are proud to represent Baton Rouge.
We got the Baton Rouge Zydeco coach Everett Thompson in with us talking about the a team coming back home as of last night. Another match coming up tonight. Give me the details.
Playing Athens tonight, 7:05 puck drop here. It's one of those games where last time we were there during that Rome stint. So that's one of the teams we saw, and we definitely owe them a big one here at home this weekend here. So it's gonna be fun.
As I recall from last season, it feels like Biloxi's the big rival. I mean, closest one to us.
Correct.
And y'all just traded off 2-2, all four in their place right there. How's that rivalry developing? Because I mean, it's one thing to be geographically close, but or have geographical proximity, but it's another when it shows up on the ice.
We always have tough games against them. I think anytime you're playing a rivalry team, any type of game like that, it's just going to be hectic, right? Like it's just you're never going to have the easy game. They're always going to be able to get up for it. So by the numbers, we're doing well. We're winning in the series, but I'm not going to say they're easy games by any stretch. They're good. They're hard fought battles here. So we love playing those guys. No love lost there.
Well, now conversely, there's no real drop off when you take on like an Athens. The Rock Lobsters is a great name, by the way.
But when
you take on like an Athens, like you're doing tonight and again tomorrow night, both of them, I think it's 7:30 tonight.
7:05 for both puck drops.
Okay, 7:05 for both puck drops. All right, tonight and tomorrow night, and then a couple games at home, and you got to hit the road again before coming back. So, for those who have not been out to see the Zydeco this season, walk me through the rest of the season and what they can expect.
Yeah, I mean, we got the playoff push coming up here. We're on the road for 2 weeks after this weekend here, but you got tonight and tomorrow night here, and then we've got some more home dates coming up here in April 4th through 6th, and then April 10th through 12th. Those are all 3-3s. We got home games there. Come check us out. Any of those dates there, we'd be glad to have you.
All right, what do the playoffs look like, and how? I mean, I know we're winning, but how close are we to being?
We're in
a spot on lockdown.
We're in a seed right now. I think we're just a few points out. A couple more wins here, we'll secure that spot here in no time. So
hang on. You got to stop for the hockey novice. I know wins and losses. A few points out. What does that mean?
So every win in regulation in this league is worth 3 points.
Okay.
Wins in overtimes and shootouts are worth 2, and if you get to a shootout or overtime, you're rewarded with 1 point.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So we need a few more of those regulation wins, in my opinion.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So what's the playoff schedule look like? I don't want to get ahead. I know as the coach, you're gonna stay focused on the next game, but
so the 4th and 5th seed play like a 1-game play-in to see the 1 seed for a 2 out of 3, and then 2 and 3 meet for a 2 out of 3 series as well. And then the semis is also 2 out of 3. And then the finals is 3 out of 5.
Okay. Which can take us probably through May?
Right around there. Yep. That's exactly.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. So I mean, that's some extended action right there.
It is. No, it definitely adds to the schedule here. And if you look at where the league is here, it's all throughout. We got all the way down here, all the way up to Binghamton, New York, all the way up to Watertown, New York. So, playoffs can get very interesting on where you got to go and who you get to see, but it's very exciting hockey.
But I mean, it's also so many parts of the country that we wouldn't normally be exposed to. Exactly. I mean, depending on what sport you're a fan of and where, LSU, we know the Southeastern Conference, right? And you would think that with a minor league sport, you would stick with that kind of driving distance sort of thing. With y'all, you're all over the place.
Got to be where the call-ups are, right? These leagues are, it's fun. You get to go visit places that are a little obscure, a little different, and you're seeing parts of the country that they're different. It's fun though at the same time. You'll sometimes never imagine some of the places you'll go and see, but the arenas and the fans are always packed, so you can't really complain.
Are they packed for? Okay, take this in the right vein. Are they packed for the hockey? Or are they packed for the fights?
I think it's both. I think if you're going to have a hockey game, there's going to be fights. If people are expecting fights, it's going to be a hockey game sometimes. So, it's one of those things that happens.
Well, I asked that question to set up this question. How are we doing as a fan base of learning what we need to know? Because I don't, we got Scott down the hall. Scott knows hockey inside and out, right? I know nothing. And if I'm there to watch somebody punch. So, but I want to learn. How's our learning curve going as a fan base?
I think we're definitely picking up. It's definitely a culturally different sport down here. I mean, like we talked about earlier, there's not a ton of ice, unfortunately, down there. I think we had that a couple days here of snow, I think.
Yes. Yeah, we did. But I mean, even then, it's what are you going to go out and skate on Government Street?
Yeah, it's a little tough.
Right. mean, you're just worried about slipping and falling before you get inside a building. At that point, it's not like a regular occurrence for an extended period of time. But it's just there is a learning curve there, and I can tell you that puck moves fast.
It's very
And
fast.
it's tiny.
It's one of those games. It's one of the things where I tell you, if you come live and in person, it's way better than watching it on TV or on TV or
Mhm.
on YouTube or however you watch your sports nowadays. You got to come and watch hockey live. It's just one of those events that it's a full event. You know, from the very beginning with the intros where the lights go off and
Yes.
you know the music's bumping.
Yep.
Get the concert atmosphere to it, and all the way to like you know when the goal's scored, you know the horn goes off. It's exciting. I think and then you know like we talked about, the fights are also you know the hitting and the fights. That's just a part of hockey. It's you know I think we had 2 last night. You know I expect more this weekend here. You know, and regardless, it's going to be hard, fast hitting playoff style hockey here down the stretch here, which is always the most exciting. You know, it's one thing when a team is you know new to a place and totally different when now we know we're competing for something here.
And it just grows from there. It just grows from there. And hopefully it will continue to take hold because the Zydeco belonged to Baton Rouge. And it's to see the attendance numbers where they were last year. And then to hear you talk about how like yeah, there might be a couple of newbies that dropped off, but along with that is loyalty that's built in or continues to grow along the way. 7:05 tonight, 7:05 tomorrow night, taking on the Rock Lobsters down at the Raising Cane's River Center. He's Everett Thompson, the Baton Rouge Zydeco head coach. Appreciate a couple minutes.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks again.
Always. Thank you. Right here on Talk 107. Oh, you know what? This actually might time out. LSU softball moved up to a 4:30 start time. You can get a double dip tonight if you want to go out to Tiger Park to check out LSU softball. Now, if you're not going out to Tiger Park to check out LSU softball, they're right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Your home for LSU sports or LSU women's sports is right here on Talk 107.3 FM. But man, I'm looking at that start time. You can catch both tonight and head over to the River Center to get the Zydeco on the back end. It's 7:50. Here's your money now. Sorry, that was an ill-timed promo, but I'm
got it in there.
Yeah, gotta get
Appreciate
it,
man.
Always, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. I'm going down to John too.
Do what?
Going down the road too.
To go see Scott? Yeah, Scott and Richard, they're right down there. Yeah. What I like best about him is he has no qualms about like he's honest about the product, you know?
Yeah.
Honest about the fan base. I don't know hockey from shit. I mean, I'm not going to either because my eyes are awful and I literally can't see the puck. Like,
yeah.
I get like,
I need to go, man. I need to quit playing around and freaking go see a freaking game. It's got to be different, right?
Get with Michelle. I think we have a stack of tickets. Yeah.
I need to quit playing. I need to get out there. It'll still just be funny to me because as violent of a sport as hockey is, you get you can barely even hear him on the mic. He's very soft spoken, very just like. But then I'm sure it gets on the ice and just becomes a complete animal.
Do we want to do weather or do we want to do fentanyl?
Weather or fentanyl?
Let's do fentanyl.
All right. Same cuts?
Yeah. Just got an email from my daughter's gymnastics coach. Sorry, everyone. I literally just received word that tomorrow's sessions are canceled due to the severe weather threat.
Dang.
I desperately want to email back. Isn't gymnastics an indoor sport?
Right. Ramsey.
Ooh. Dan Reynolds, Wayne Sermon, and Ben McKee.
Huh?
Do you know those names?
No. Who?
They're also known as Imagine Dragons.
Oh. But you could tell me you were in Imagine Dragons, and I'd believe you.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I don't know anybody in Imagine Dragons.
They're doing a documentary on Imagine Dragons. Live from the Hollywood Bowl.
Nothing against them. Like I actually enjoy some of their
this.
music. I just don't know any members.
Yeah, I wouldn't know them either if it wasn't listed in front of me on this email. .756 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Senator Bill Cassidy's looking to get involved with the efforts to further curb the fentanyl epidemic. Talk about that in just a second. I do need to remind you about the folks over at Vex European. Check them out online at vexeuropean.com. V as in Vinny, vexeuropean.com. Vinny and his crew celebrating their 10th year in business. They're 10 years in because they know what they're doing. And not only that, but it's all about specialization. If you drive a European vehicle, you can check out vexeuropean.com. If you see your make of vehicle on the list of vehicles that they service, you're going to have an expert level technician working on your car. And it's going to stick with your car so they know your car inside and out. Your tech follows you the same way your chart follows you at your doctor's office. Now, while you're at vexeuropean.com, move over to that specials tab. If you've never been there before, you could save $100 off your first visit clicking on that specials tab right there. And then while you're on the website, go ahead and make your appointment now and go see them. They're on Benefit Drive. It's the back end of Industrialplex. You'll find them on Benefit Drive in real life. But I'd start over at vexeuropean.com. I take my car there, getting so much life out of my vehicle because I trust and use and appreciate the service that I get from Vex European. So, Senator Bill Cassidy, you heard this in our news at the bottom of the hour, looking to pass the Halt Fentanyl Act, H-A-L-T, Halt Fentanyl Act. In a Senate floor speech yesterday, Cassidy said, among other things, the act closes a loophole that people use to slightly alter the fentanyl to the point that it's no longer fentanyl, something that's called a fentanyl analog.
Yes, it looks like fentanyl. It addicts like fentanyl. It can kill like fentanyl. But because of a minor modification, it's not actually fentanyl. But it still has the same terrible, addictive, deadly effect of the actual thing.
Now, drug overdoses, largely driven by fentanyl, are the leading cause of death among young adults 18 to 45 years old. Synthetic opioids like fentanyl account for 66% of the total U.S. overdose deaths. Now, that being said, We are seeing a downturn in Louisiana to where we're not, well, I shouldn't say a downturn. We are seeing non-record breaking numbers. There was a stretch of almost 3 years where every year, no, was it 4 years? Yeah, it was 4 years where year over year, we broke a record every year. Last year, that number came down. This year, we are off to a decent start. The Halt Fentanyl Act would permanently make fentanyl a Schedule I drug, meaning it has no legitimate medical use and thus would be illegal to use or possess. Cassidy said in 2023, more than 74,000 people died of fentanyl, accounting for almost 70% of all the drug overdose deaths that year.
Everyone in this chamber, everyone watching from home, knows of someone who has died of a fentanyl overdose. If you watch the Super Bowl, 74,000 is more people than were in the New Orleans Superdome.
In the stands. Well, I mean, I don't want to break it down seat by seat, but he's talking about the attendance, not all the people that were there. The Senate is expected to vote on the bill, possibly as early as today. Quick break for news, traffic, weather. Hour 3's next. I love it. Putting a tariff on champagne. It has to come from the Champagne region, or else it's just a sparkling tax. It's a good ass line, and I haven't had a chance to use it yet.
Uh-oh.
Your boy's singing Mardi Gras music.
Dude, we never had a Mardi Gras. It was all like rained and discombobulated. And shit, just like the St. Patty's Day. Hello there, my Kraut friend. How are you today, laddie? Look. You ever see Mr. Miyagi in Karate Kid?
Yeah, of course.
What's
of
up,
course.
JK?
What's up?
I'm going to Smith. You ready? Choose. You pick one. It's funny you picked that because the lady downstairs that let me in is the bill collector. What's her name? She's
Bill collector.
Well, she's like in
Miss Judy.
That must be her. Yeah. Well, she said she goes. I write all the bills and I take care of all.
Oh, she might not be Miss Judy though.
Yeah, she's kind of old lady, great hair. Very nice.
No, not Miss
Oh,
Judy.
no.
Oh,
Miss
man,
Judy, though.
whatever. I don't care. How you doing? What you got? What you?
I don't know, man. Hook me up. What do you think? What do you
choose, man? You pick which one you want, man.
This one. This is easy.
Man, see,
What
you
we got?
can't have this because you ain't cool enough.
Rocking it.
Woo,
Rocking this,
baby.
man.
Diamonds up forever, and so is Ric Flair, and so is Rock.
Flaring of the green.
Dude, let's rock it.
So good.
I got some material for you today, dude. I got Red Bulls. I got Alani. Who needs an Alani? You ready?
I do.
You ready?
Is that the one with the weed in it?
No, I got one of those for you too. But after the show. You too.
By the way, I'm coming over to I'm coming over to the restaurant today. You know Scott Thomas?
Sorry, ain't did with that.
Oh, I'm bringing having lunch.
I got to do payroll for the construction company. So.
Oh, good. No, I'm having lunch with
I come bearing gifts.
A fellow with an axe brother.
New
All right.
pink slush.
Okay. 806. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. All bets are off. Rocco's in the house. We're gonna fight through a This Day in History segment.
I've been doing my best.
And you've been preparing me for it.
Yeah.
You've been warning me.
And listen, I brought you gifts of frankincense and Murphs.
Murphs?
Okay.
Well,
you ain't getting gold.
Later, Everett.
I'm too cheap. I'm a miser. But I got you Alani's. You want pink slush? Or do you want orange?
What does pink slush taste like? Is that like a pink lemonade?
I'm going to look, talk amongst yourselves. Take whatever
all right. I have no clue.
Reach.
But a little toast for you, my Irish Mick friend.
I guess I have the orange one.
Still can't reach.
My Irish Mick friend.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for the.
May you be in heaven
yes.
a half an hour before the devil knows you're dead, my brother.
That is an Irish toast.
Little orange kiss.
That. I got the pink slush on
little
my end.
ASMR here. Little on the radio. Here we go. Like one little.
Pretty good, boy. Do I have a po' boy or two for you today? We going old school streetcar style, baby.
Strawberry flavor behind the pink slush.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a something in there, you know.
All right.
What your listening audience doesn't know, though, those are actually those legal beverages that contain THC.
The weed?
I didn't tell them that. So
Is
they
the
be
weed
strength too.
Really?
So I don't know where this show's going.
It says it's got 200 milligrams
This
of
day in
caffeine.
history, my favorite. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Hit it up, John.
Let's go.
Do the po' boys today.
What?
I'm doing the potato po' boy with the original, and then I've got one called the Raider. That dude from Rummel created, old school.
Well, I'm gonna be at Rummel on Sunday.
All right, let's see if we can do this.
Yeah, I think we can.
We're gonna try to keep it tight.
I will be still.
Keep it tight today, Rob.
And listen, that's what I've been trying to do this Lent. That's what I gave up talking.
You did not.
1794, Eli Whitney patents the cotton gin, revolutionizing the cotton industry in the southern U.S. states.
Nicely done.
This day.
Good job, Eli.
Don't jump out there, big pelican. Don't jump out there.
Hey, 1923, U.S. President Warren G. Harding becomes the first president to pay taxes.
He got shot, didn't he?
Did he?
I think so.
Well,
is he from Louisiana?
No.
Maybe it's another guy.
1960.
McKinley.
1964, coming out of Dallas, Texas, Jack Ruby sentenced to death for Lee Harvey Oswald's murder.
Hey, speaking of
terrible
shooting
what he
presidents.
did.
Yep.
Well, who
yeah,
did?
he did it. Yeah.
Who? Oswald?
Well, yeah.
All by himself?
Yeah. Man.
All by himself?
Sure, man.
Lone shooter, lone gunman?
He had Maggie's
He was
draws,
the one guy?
man. You know what Maggie's draws is?
No.
It's when you can't fire a rifle from here to that wall. And you can't hit nothing.
He was an average shot.
I mean,
an average shot.
He made those 3 shots in like 1.2. Say he was an awesome.
By
awesome
the way, follow-up note on Jack Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time a courtroom verdict was televised in the United States. How about that?
Didn't realize
also
that.
a shooting.
How about that?
Hey,
What?
speaking of
yeah, the shooting was televised
that
as well.
was the first
So,
one I think ever. Yeah, that whole thing was awesome.
Speaking of shootings, 1967, JFK's body moved from temporary grave to a permanent memorial.
why on this day?
I don't know. Hey, 1973, future U.S. Senator John McCain is released after spending 5 years in a North Vietnamese prison.
That's kind of a big
prisoner
deal.
of war
Yeah.
camp. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a big deal.
Yeah, little bit. Music news here. Dave Matthews Band performed their first concert today in 1991 in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Okay.
Let's see. This is really fascinating. 2018 NASA twin study finds that Scott Kelly is no longer identical to his twin brother after 1 year in space. 7% of his genes were altered. 7%.
That is so cool.
Well,
Really
speaking of
fascinating.
NASA, I got an FYI for you on that, Mr. Haldane.
What's that?
One of the gentlemen that we coached with for years, Mr. Freeman, our brother.
Yeah,
Axe
into the
brother,
mic.
Our axe brother.
Uh-huh.
His wife worked on the NASA space shuttle program
No way.
and built the solid rocket boosters and stuff like that. Yeah.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
That
You know what
is
she does
incredible.
now? She's a stay-at-home mom. She bakes cookies. Good cookies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm real good. And they were good cookies now. I'm telling you, the oatmeal raisin. She gave me some when I did a roof. Speaking of, but go on.
Okay.
Birthdays here. Albert Einstein at the top of this list here. Quincy Jones as well. Michael Caine and Billy Crystal.
Okay.
Anybody else on your end?
Got a couple more over on my end.
All
For
right.
example, we've got Steph Curry,
Yeah.
born on this day.
Okay.
You had Einstein. We've also got sorry, I'm going back to my sports list over here, toggling back and forth. Remember Grandmama? Larry Johnson? Played for the Charlotte Hornets, then went on to the Knicks. He was the one that did the Nike commercials and drag.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grandmama. It's Grandmama's birthday. Also Simone Biles.
Yeah, the moo on.
Yeah.
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 I know.
It's a really poor Nike campaign.
I mean, you know,
Always
about as good as Michael Jackson. Pepsi and his hair catching on fire.
Well, even that was, but it was when Nike was like looking for the next one after Jordan.
He wasn't it. He wasn't the guy.
No.
I'm just telling you, he fizzled.
I'm
He's
with
not
you
like
right
me.
there.
Woo! Did you read this? Did
You
read
got
it?
you got a name badge on. It's like a backstage
Diamonds
pass.
Off the hour.
Is that the
And
pass? you
so
have
was
to get
Ric
to-
Flair, baby. Woo!
to now come on up?
Who died today?
Stephen Hawking
Yep,
today.
that was the one I had.
Also, Karl Marx as well this day.
I did not have that one. Where is that on my list?
He's number 2 on mine.
Okay.
It's Stephen.
Oh no, there he is right there. I just didn't scroll down far enough.
Yes.
Yes, Stephen Hawking died on this day in 2018.
That's who that is, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant man.
Very, very much
As
so.
far as national days go, it's Pi Day.
It is Pi Day, and we're gonna leave it at that
Yeah.
because there's another day for today.
And yeah.
Yeah, Pi Day, and I'm on my way here, and you're talking about I'm moving dicks around. I'm like, what is this guy talking?
Sporting goods store.
Okay, well, I needed
I mean,
a point of edification
Well,
on
you
that
didn't have-
because
yeah,
I didn't know what the
Dick's
heck
Sporting
y'all were.
Goods.
I was pumping gas. I get back in, and I'm like, is this where we going already? I didn't even get there, and he's already started.
Over at the Mall of Louisiana.
Yes.
Over at
Hey,
the Mall of
hey.
Louisiana. You had to go on the back side.
Hey,
You had to go around the back to find Dick.
I'm just telling
And
you
now
what I
they've
heard.
moved to front and center. You could
All right.
see the dicks
Whoa,
from Blue
okay.
Bonnet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Eight-
That's just gonna,
8:13 talk.
don't make
Sporting
me
goods.
go there.
Sporting goods, Rocco.
I got a joke for you.
For now or for when we get back?
I got a couple. Let's go.
All right. Quick break. Coming back. Rocco's in the house.
Po'
next.
Boys.
Yes.
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 The original streetcar po' boy, and it's in honor of you and your Irish heritage.
Okay.
A potato po' boy.
Potato po'
Two
boy.
types. We're gonna do sweet
potato
and regular French fries. Boy, do I have a tasty treat for you and all the listeners for Lent today on Friday. So,
all right, I'm here for it. We're talking about it next.
Hang on. Yeah, man, we're gonna do. So the Raider po' boy. I'm not sure if it was Tommy Mann, because Thomas Mann was like you and you brought him. I mean, he started coming into Rocco's in 95, 96.
Same times, yeah.
Which was something else when I was on Act 6, because it went down on Act 6, right?
I was there. When
I knew him for 30 years. Never had it.
Never what? Okay.
And so anyway, my dude, I think, invented this sandwich. I don't think
I forgot to bring the rosary.
Did he go to Rommel? I got the rosary.
No.
I got a green one.
My gift from you.
Oh,
my gift from the Axe 18.
Bring it to the restaurant. I'll be there. Look at this. My neighbor got them for me. These are actually from St. Patrick's Cathedral in Ireland, laddie. And he brought them back over the boat. And then I said, well, who's going to bless them? I had to get somebody out. So who do you think blessed them?
Wasn't there a priest at MBS?
Brother Miles, man. Brother Miles Walsh. From New Orleans. You know he's from New Orleans, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
hear him talk sometimes?
Yeah.
Dark chocolate. And,
But,
he sounds like he's from Brooklyn.
Sounds like he's uptown.
This town, that town. But anyway, so two of them we made. One is a sweet potato po' boy. And you just put the sweet potatoes and honey mustard on the French bread. And you can dress it or not dress it. It's up to you. The other one is the Raider.
What's the Raider?
The Raider. So that's going to come with mayo. It's going to come with hot sauce, cheddar cheese, brown gravy. Oh, my. And we're going to do the traditional regular one with just some mayonnaise, blue plate, and the regular steak fries. And the brown gravy,
Crank it up, John.
Yeah. Should we be river dancing or something? I know how to do that. Yes, morning, Lucky Charms. And I love Lucky Charms.
817 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We got Rocco in the house.
I think it was a good idea to move the parade, by the way. Good decision. I think it was. I mean, I know, a lot of people, but, they're still going to do the Fred's Palooza, the whatever it is they have going on.
Can I plug in the headset?
No. They're going to do the, what is it? The Earl of Palooza still, which I think is a good call.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I was looking at the weather forecast. It's going to be rain. It's going to be on and off. I mean, I was at Lollapalooza one time, and it rained the whole time we were there. We went a slop. Was Eddie Vedder climbed all the way up the top of the stage and was hanging. I mean, it was like, and we stayed out there. So, I mean, heck, the kids today, man.
Well, so the Earl of Palooza,
you put on a freaking poncho, you hang out there, you drink some green beer, and you have a good time. So,
doesn't start till later, though. Right?
Yes. Yeah, that's a good call too. And I think the baseball game is still on tomorrow, right?
Baseball game's on tomorrow. If you look at if you're looking at the hour by hour forecast, everything should work out perfectly. And yes,
when do we get to do the weather?
Do what?
When do we get
coming up at the end of the after news and traffic?
I love weather.
But yeah, if you're looking at the hour by hour forecast, it all should map out nicely. Now that being said, I'm not in town on Sunday. I'll be at 1901 Severn on Sunday morning. You know what's at 1901 Severn?
St. Patrick's Day Parade.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, more specifically, do you know what's at 1901 Severn?
Oh, it's the Irish Italian St. Patrick's Day
what
Marching
building
Club or whatever.
Is at 1901 Severn? I'm setting you up here, Rocco.
Is it Sal and Judy's or Vincenzo's? Or...
Sal and Judy's is in Lacombe.
Well, they used to be over there. I don't know, man. I don't get that much, man. I'm not from there no more.
1901 Severn is the home of Rummel High School.
Oh, well, yeah, I should know that because I was at a basketball tournament earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but yeah, so that Rummel, Raider, Po' Boy that we're going to do in a little bit. This guy here is a genius in what he does and how he knows how to take his guests in the direction that he wants to go. And so now I get to tell a joke, right?
Yes, you do.
And you can't cuss on the air, so I'm not.
No.
But it's pretty funny because, you know, they had these group of nuns and they had a car and they had a stoplight, right? And these group of Irish guys all drunk. They were over at the bar drinking pints of Guinness and having a good time. And he rolls down the window. He looks at one of the nuns and he says, "Hey, what's it going to take for you to, you know, maybe leave the cloth and come hang out with us and have a good time?" She's like, head nun looks at him. She goes to Sister Mary. She goes, "I want you to show them your cross." And she goes, "Okay." She kind of gives it this look and she turns, rolls down the window and tells me, I think it's so funny. She says, "Hey, you bunch of no good SOBs. Why don't you take your beeps out of here and then take it to boop?" And so the point being, she showed him she was cross.
Oh.
There's always a symbolism.
Yeah, is it angry?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you get it?
I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
Anyway, so we're going to do the Po' Boy.
Yes, and it is Lent,
and we're
it is Friday.
Talk about the Po' Boy.
Yes.
Because this is in honor of your Irish heritage. Okay, the first Po' Boy in New Orleans, made at Martin Brothers. What was it? I'm leading you now.
The first Po' Boy?
The first Po' Boy ever made. I'm leading you now.
Wait, the first Po' Boy wasn't roast beef?
Negative, Ghost Rider. Negative.
Yeah.
It was the potato Po' Boy.
And
it was back in the 1940s during World War II, and they were rationing out meat. And they had this place called Martin Brothers. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In New Orleans. And they were a butcher place. And of course, what did they do? You had to have vouchers and things to get meat, right?
Yeah.
So the streetcar workers were working in the area. They had all these projects that they were doing, these WPA programs and things of that nature, but nobody had any money.
Okay.
So Martin Brothers came up with the idea, said, "Hey, look, we're going to boil some roasts and we'll sell that. But we're going to take the gravy of that roast and we're going to take some potatoes and we're going to slice them up." Okay. And then so they would take the Po' Boy bread, which the original Po' Boy bread was Jandusa. That was the first Po' Boy bread ever used in New Orleans. A little history for you.
Okay.
I know my stuff. I'm a very well-versed man in my vernacular, in my lexicon. Okay. And so after they start selling this Po' Boy, it takes off. And all it was the potato, the mayonnaise, the French bread, and a little bit of debris of the roast that was left over in the gravy.
Yeah.
And they sold it for like a nickel, and they had draft beer. And so people would go there and they drink beer and that's what they ate. And that was the original Po' Boy. So in honor of most of those workers from the channel where Condon's from, potatoes, you know about the potato famine in Ireland. I mean, we all know the story.
Right.
I don't have to give a history lesson on that. But you would be amazed just how good it really is. But we're going to kick it up a notch because that's what we do at Rocco.
Yeah.
We're always on the cutting edge of technology and everything. I mean, we got satellites and everything checking out our little place, seeing what they're doing. True story.
Sending drones up in the air.
You know I'm in the CIA.
No, you're not.
Okay.
No,
and if I was, I wouldn't tell you.
That's right. That's why you're not in the CIA.
Which is exactly why I told you.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. And so no one has ever tried a sweet potato Po' Boy.
I know I haven't.
With mayonnaise, brown gravy.
Now, when you do,
you can do so many variations with this sandwich. The Raider, in honor of Severn, that you brought up, or that you led me into.
Yep.
Okay. Was created by, I wanted to say Tommy Mann, who's one of our Axe brothers.
No kidding.
Shout out to our Axe ministry. I believe, isn't he from New Orleans? I'm almost certain. I think he went to Rumble, but a guy that used to run with him created this po' boy. And it is exactly what we were talking about with Martin Brothers, except you put cheddar cheese and you add crystal hot sauce to it. Okay. And it is just phenomenal. I mean, then we're going to do the sweet potato.
Mm-hmm.
You could do the sweet potato with just the honey mustard. Most people, if you ever been to Tejas, they eat their sweet potato fries with honey. Okay.
Okay.
And so that's a big thing over there.
He went to,
but we're going to do it with a little honey mustard because we always throw a little flair.
Yes.
Did you read my badge?
I read your badge.
What's it say?
It says diamonds are forever, and so is Ric Flair.
So is Rocco and Rocco's. And so, I mean, you could do it with brown gravy, the sweet potato fries, with just mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm.
Different flavor. Everything has a different flavor profile.
Now, when you're doing the potatoes on this,
multi-versatile.
When you're doing the potatoes on this, are they French fries, or are you preparing them differently?
No. It's our fries that we serve in house. We serve a very good fry. I mean,
yeah, you do.
So I got them under a little heat right now, trying to keep them warm.
Problem is, you serve a really good onion ring, so I never get the fries.
Yeah, the onion strings are very good because they're thin cut, and I mean, when they fry up, but I will tell you, and this is the truth, and I'm a man of truth. The onion strings are very good, but you got to eat them in a restaurant.
Oh, yeah. No, they don't hold up.
They don't travel well.
No.
They just don't. And we've tried everything, man, and and now don't get me wrong. If you pick up your sandwich and you on Interline, a block or two away, you're fine. But if you got to drive 10 minutes, by the time you get back where you're going, now the fries hold up fine. They'll still be warm by the time you get where you're going. But, they just don't. But, man, eat them in-house. When they come out that fryer and out the window, and we cook everyone to order, even on your pickups, and that's one of the reasons why, even with your fries, some people come in, and the po' boys will be ready, but we don't do their sides until they get there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason why we do that, because we're realistic and we understand traffic and things of that nature are going to come into play.
Right.
And, you want to try and prolong the life and the heat of the product as long as you can. And so but eat them in house. And of course, that's anything fried. The oyster po' boy, that's another great example. Man, eat that sucker there. I mean, you eat it when it comes out the fryer. Those oysters are hot. By the time you take it, put it on the po' boy, they wrap it. It kind of smushes it a little bit. It gets soggy by the time you get where you're going. Oysters, you got to eat in house. I know a thing or two.
Yeah.
I didn't get, fat. I was so fat, I broke my leg. Brown gravy came pouring out. And I was like, that's it. It's time for me to do something.
But you're looking good, though.
I thank you, man. And it's been a long journey. And like anything, it's a commitment. We talked about it so many times. You've done dieting over the years. I mean,
well, I'm back on it now. I kind of hit a plateau during king cake season, but
I'm telling you, man, anybody that is listening, and I mentioned the book last time, Andy Hatcher gave it to me, another brothers, in our ministry over there at Mercy, and it's called Breaking the Obesity Code.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the Amazon list. You get it for $12 used. Read it. Explains everything about the chemistry of the body and how, and look, the Ozempics, the Mounjaro, we talked about that too. If you're going to take it, look, but you better weight train and resistance train because it burns your muscle way faster.
Right.
Than it burns your fat.
Correct.
And you're going to get skinny fat and walk around with, belly, dragging the ground because you got all this excess skin. Nobody wants that. And the truth is, it's a progression over time. As your body adjusts, you don't get that skin and that, because you put the weights back into the program. And, another thing is, if you lifted weights before and you haven't done it in a while, go back and do it because your body has great muscle memory. It really does. Your muscles will remember when you train and they will start to get it again. But the key is consistency. In 2023 August, I started, and I just never stopped. So anyway, but I can still eat, baby. You walk into a restaurant, don't skinny walk out. You see me, and you're like, That dude's eating good. Let's pull up a chair. Am I right? Or am I right? Woo! You read this badge?
I did. It says diamonds are forever. So
Let's make some po' boy.
Absolutely. Let's make some po' boys. So we'll start actually crafting.
We got to do the weather. When's the weather coming?
Weather's coming up right now. We got a minute and a half until our ABC news. Then we'll have local news. We'll have traffic. We'll have weather.
I can explain to you a little bit of the stuff.
So I got a very specific question here because it is Lent.
Yes.
And we are abstaining from meat on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
Your gravy.
There's no meat in it.
Okay.
No. So
what
it's
we
not
do?
Like
normal French fry debris.
What we do with our brown gravy is after the roast is cooked, we take the juice and then we pour it through a sifter.
Okay.
And we take that juice and we use that to make our gravy.
Okay.
So it is a beef stock.
Yeah. Yeah. But no active meat in there.
But you think God's going to be mad because you had a little bit of brown gravy?
No, I don't.
Touch of meat?
I don't.
Well, is he, going to be mad when you go out and you mean to somebody? I mean, put it in a perspective.
I know. I understand.
He's a forgiving God.
There's effort made to avoid the meat is what I'm saying.
Go to church. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but I mean, we do that for a reason too, because sometimes people come in and they just don't like, the roast beef gravy on and they take it with them and they don't like any remnants of the roast beef in the gravy.
Yeah.
And there was a time when we used to do it and it was in a big vat and all the sliced roast beef was in it and we just slapped it out. And you always had that remnants of the meat in the gravy.
No,
and then we changed that.
But that's just me.
Oh, well, man.
We got a break.
I brush my teeth with it in the morning. It's so good. Set up here, baby.
All right. Let's get it going.
Still downstairs?
Downstairs and upstairs. Either way.
You got one here?
No, third floor or first floor.
No, yeah. How many minutes?
6 minutes.
Please. Would you mind doing that?
Yeah.
How you doing, Rich? Oh, see.
Hey,
here, Brian.
Hey, did you get Sandy Burton died last night?
What?
Yeah. She had pancreatic cancer.
That's terrible.
Rock, what you got today, brother?
Dude, you know what? When I had my place on China, I had a French fry for boys. You want one?
No, I'm good, man.
Stand up tall.
Go, Jack.
Your body runs on call for a reason. You need it from when you run. Call them up, baby.
I'm good, man. I'm fast.
Hey, you have out with me too. I do it too every day. I swear to
you. You're committed to it.
Brother, I lost 40 pounds.
Dude, you look good. I told you that last time.
I know. I lost 40 pounds.
Dude, what are you drinking? This little sissy water?
No, it's an energy drink. You want one?
You got one?
Yeah. You all right? Your heart's going to be all right, huh?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I love you, fucker.
It'll be fine, dude.
Yeah, Irish channel. In honor of your people, I'm doing a French fry po' boy, man.
Dude, I never had one. Is that a Chalmette thing? You mind?
No, man. They get soggy. Isn't really nothing.
Oh,
I fry these some bitches right well left, man. They just don't. They don't travel well, JP.
I believe it.
Shit. You got a pocket knife on you? You got my truck. Katie Moscow. No, I mean, it's easy to get off. My hands are greasy because I just touched these French fries, so I can't turn it. My hands are greasy.
Young man.
Scarborough, how are you, sir? What's going on, man? How's the lacrosse world, man?
Good. We just took care of Southside Wednesday night. 12-1.
You hang out with Micah Holden? You know Micah? I think his son's on that team.
Yeah, I coach Landry and basketball. Mercy.
Oh, their Landry and my Landry are friends.
So Rocco is the same age as Bryce. It's one of his buddies.
Yeah, Mike is awesome. Him and his wife Sandy, they're awesome.
Yeah, good peeps. That's our peeps.
Right on. You good? Like drinking?
Good. Then we're doing a little. We're doing a little French fry po' boy in honor of the Irish
And
Lent season. We got a couple of spins we're gonna do. They're gonna be phenomenal. If you want to know how they were, read the book.
I'm leaving now.
I'm
not falling for that yet.
Joe Applegamos.
We'll be the first 3
So
times.
listen to this real quick. I got my physical like last summer. He said, yeah, we're gonna have to test prostate check that age. I said, look, your hands, dude, are like a gorilla. I mean, he played the All-American center back. Why don't we just do the blood work first? And then if there's something, then maybe then you do that, okay? Because there ain't no way you're putting that freaking bear claw up my bleeping bleep.
My doctor, I went to mine.
Oh, Alvin.
What do you do? And he goes, you don't have to do that anymore. It's all blood work now. I'm like,
We don't have to.
I also bear gifts.
I'm like,
I'm here. What's that?
I'm like,
Breast implant?
I'm jumping all week. I'm like, what do you mean? Come on, get in there.
Hey,
It's like a titty.
I got a side company.
See, he made the same joke I did.
I'm selling cheap implants. If your wife's interested, $50 each. And she's gonna have to find somebody to put them in. I just sell the implant. So this is for you, man. To take home, shrimp and corn soup.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Touch as always.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, we don't even have to say that on the air or anything, just because I just like.
So
nobody needs to know what I do.
I'm going oyster
You don't
cove
like
when I come by today.
Eat it in house.
Well, yeah.
Hey man, you want some beads, bro?
So I'm bringing a.
Want a set? For you, your bride. Huh? You want one? There you go. Where's that scout? Oh,
On the wall.
it's got its own.
It's just up there with thumbtacks.
You put that on the face, but fix it. Why you got it all bent like that?
Because it was on the ground forever, or propped up on the thing. Nope. I tried to have it on display, but your tip was bending. Your tip got soft.
Yeah, I'm on the way here, and he's talking about dicks moving around on the air. I'm like, what's this guy doing?
They're just adjusting their dicks. That's all.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
All right. We have got a 40% chance of rain today, but it's going to be late tonight before anything rolls through.
Yeah.
Looking at that hour by hour, we should be good to go. LSU baseball and softball both moved up to 4:30. You should be clearing out of there before anything rolls through. 9 p.m. tonight is when we have a 40% chance of rain. Sticks around till about 1 a.m. Then tomorrow at 7, kicks back up again with an 80 to 90% chance of rain throughout the thick of the morning tomorrow. By 2 p.m., it should start to clear out. And after that, we'll be good to go, which means Sunday's wearing of the green should bring us sunny skies and a high of 72. Overnight low Sunday night gets back down to 42 degrees. 75 on Monday, 78 on Tuesday, and then look out on Wednesday. We'll be back up in the 80s again. Right now, we're cloudy, 68 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge.
It's gonna work out. I think the weather's gonna be fine this weekend. You do the walk around and give out the carnations? This guy, dude.
Come on, Rocco!
He's a man of the people.
Come on, Rocco!
What do you want me to do? River dance?
Bing Crosby, baby. Are these your people?
I mean, Bing is, I don't know nothing about the Irish, man.
I'm going to hear this song 1,000 times on Sunday.
I mean, do you like square dance to it or something? I mean,
we just march around. Where it gets good is
you give out the flowers, the carnations.
We do give out the flowers. We do give out the
give
little,
me a kiss,
Yep.
and all the
that goes on. Now, when you start to see us marching backwards,
I do that.
You know things get
Italian
loose.
one, man. In the French.
Well, you get the green, white, and red ones as opposed to the green, white, and orange.
Some of them ladies they take it a little too far. And some of them, they got a little mustache, when they kiss you. It's like, hey.
That's
expect the rain. Back off, Mahakamadi. They see the slick back hair and a olive oil skin. They're like, hey.
And no olive oil skin over here. And I'll have a derby on.
Yeah, man.
So have a derby on for sure.
Yeah, you're
you're
quintessential Mick, my friend. I don't.
Yeah. No,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
What color are you?
Mayonnaise. I think it's the tone here.
But I told you, my children had to get DNA tests on. They were very white.
Yeah.
When they were young.
Yeah. How white were they?
I mean, they were white enough for me to get DNA tests and find out they were Russian. It turns out earlier, I told you I was in the CIA. I have a confession. I'm actually a Russian spy. This is all like colorization.
Nothing about this is Russian. There's nothing about.
Po' boy time, baby. Come on. 840. Couldn't pick it. Could be 8 and 4 is 12. 12 tribes. 12.
Have we talked about the numerology thing? Have we been down that path?
Did you go listen to Father Wade?
Do what? No, I did not.
First homily I hear him say Saturday when he gets there, he starts talking about the relevancy of numbers in the scriptures, the number 40. Go look it up.
Okay. All right.
You fast for how many days? Noah was in the ark.
Jesus fasted for 40 days. If I fast for 40 days, I'm gonna be on the floor.
Well, I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
I'll be on the floor.
You fast from something.
Yeah.
You give up something for Lent. But anyway, so we're going to do all the variations that I told you.
Yes.
We're going to do the original. Okay, which is the mayonnaise, the potato, the brown gravy. And then we're going to do one with the honey mustard and the sweet potato fries. Then we're going to do one, which is the Raider special. Okay, so I'm gonna get on it.
The Jamar Chase.
I'm not going to put the rubber gloves on. As soon as I whipped them out, the room was packed. Condon hit the door. Cade ran. I mean, so Donnie, where's JP? JP.
He's literally right there.
So the only mayonnaise we use is.
All right. As Rocco is spreading the blue plate across the Leidenheimer bread to get us started with the construction of these different variations on the potato po' boy. This is available year round though, right? This is not it's not a one-time special.
I mean, we don't meet on Fridays.
Right.
I mean, the pagans.
No, but your French fry po' boy is always there. It's always there. Whether
also too, a different spin. You can dress it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, pickle, you want to add Swiss cheese, provolone cheese, whatever, pepper jack, do whatever you do. You do you, and I'll do me. Hey, when you come in,
pretty good.
That's look.
But no, on the fries, it's got to be cheddar, right? The sharpness of the cheddar goes with the French fries. All right, so on the air on Facebook, you can see what Rocco's up to over here. On the air, we're building the sandwiches right now, building out the different French fry po' boys. Oh my gosh, that looks good! You just put the gravy on top, which is the normal roast beef gravy, but it's been strained, so you're not getting beef because abstaining from meat on Friday to be sure. Adding the crystal hot sauce along with it. So good. By the way, for those who don't know, Rocco's gravy has been perfected. It has the best, it's a strong hint of garlic, but you have a garlic flavor to it that steps it up above anybody else's roast beef gravy is just juice. No, Rocco's his gravy will get up and walk out on you. It holds up. It holds up to be sure.
Well, it's a thick gravy. Nobody likes the au jus when you put it on and it just
because it doesn't do anything.
It saturates the bread so
correct
bad that it just ruins the sandwich, in my opinion.
Absolutely correct.
In my humble opinion.
100% right. You get watery juice. It does me no good. You give me a good thick gravy, and now we got something cooking over here. All right, so it looks like we're slicing up right now, and
all right. So the first thing I'm going to bring over to you.
Okay. Oh my word! Sorry, he's making sure making sure everything is covered with the drippiness of the gravy for sure.
This one is the Raider special that we talked about.
The Raider special.
and that's the one with the cheddar cheese.
Cheddar cheese.
And then you add the crystal hot sauce to it.
Okay.
Okay.
I got to do the social media thing and take the picture first before I dig in. Ooh, look at that.
This is old school, old natural.
All right, so what I'm gonna start with the old school one.
You do what you got.
I'll start with the old school one because I have a feeling I'm gonna love the Raider one.
You want to cut it in half?
Yeah, if you don't mind, because that's a lot of sandwich right there, Rock. What? What?
I think your thong's too tight or something, man. What's wrong with you?
What? I think my
You were just
thong-
talking about losing weight, right?
Yeah, we were
You're
talking
over here
about losing
taking-
weight,
You know.
and then
Here you go, boo boo. There you go. Let me cut this one for you too. Here you go. Here. You want to do the airplane? I think, oh, you want to eat it? Oh, it's so good.
all right. So
there you go, my dude.
all right, appreciate that.
Mangiano. How do you say that? That means eat.
Yeah, you just say eat. Just
Yeah,
say
I don't have a word.
eat up. I don't speak Gaelic.
All right, now we're going with.
You couldn't even wait till break.
No,
you're like,
because
You gotta try.
I gotta talk about it.
You gotta try them all while
No.
they're hot, while the gravy's hot. On
Correct.
them.
And the hot gravy with.
What are you feeling? What are you tasting?
All right, the pairing here that is awesome.
Yeah.
Is that roast beef gravy, that hot gravy, when it touches how you get the fried potatoes. It's a
Right.
French fried potato.
Yeah.
So that flavor of the French fry, that fried flavor, goes so well with goes so great with the gravy. You almost wonder why you put the gravy on a roast beef. It pairs well with that fried flavor as well. The sweetness that comes along with the bread, that little bit of sweetness that you get from the French bread, it pops. It totally pops when added to that savor, that saltiness of the of both the French fry and then the garlicness of the gravy. Oh, so good. Now, I'm gonna hold off until break before digging in on the Raider, and then during. Oh, look at that! Is that honey mustard?
Yeah, what this is going to be the sweet potato one. We're going to do honey mustard and mayonnaise on one, and on the other one, we're going to do some gravy with it as well. Because
Gravy on the sweet potato.
Yeah.
See,
Unless you taste,
I'm
taste
looking
it.
forward to that. That's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
No. You know where I'm at on that
Okay.
because it's the contrasting flavors together that I think is going to
Grasshopper, stick with me, and I'll take you where you need to go. Get on the bus. Let's go.
While we're having the French fry po' boys, while we're having potato po' boys today, what else is on the Lenten menu over at Rocco's?
Okay, so today we will be having. Okay, so obviously this will be the po' boy.
Yeah,
and of course you can get it with sweet potato, without however you want to do it. You just tell them, and they'll make it the way you want. And this will run for today. We also have the shrimp and corn soup.
Ooh.
We have the crawfish etouffee as our lunch special. It comes with a side salad. And then we also have another cup of and bowl of soup that we're running shrimp Creole. And that is very good as well. Got a little heat to it. It's actually the stuff we served to your wife at the action treat. We fed the team.
Really?
Yeah. Benny Boy came and picked it up. Your wife ate it. And it was really good. Just enough heat to make it, but still good. You know,
Yeah.
Shrimp Creole, you got to eat over rice.
Well, yeah.
You know, a little thicker, you know, man, some people like, but it's good. But these here, you know, especially this potato po' boy, I don't think people in Baton Rouge realize just the regular one with the brown gravy on it and the mayonnaise only.
That's the one I tried already.
In New Orleans, growing up, that was and still is and will ever remain a huge po' boy down there.
Yeah.
And, you know, and some of them use steak fries, you know, the bigger fries, fatter, longer fries. And I mean, I grew up eating these things and they're fantastic, you know, and you can have our brown gravy on with mayonnaise on our French bread.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about a great cure for a hangover.
Yeah.
You just eat 2 or 3 of those.
I can see that for sure.
Sops up everything. It's like a sponge when it hits your stomach, you know?
Well, what is with the simplicity of it, with
it's very
the
simple.
lack
It's very
of
cheap.
overall ingredients in it, you've got to be good at what you do. if you're not making a good gravy, it's going to show up big time. If the gravy isn't awesome, it's going to show up big time in the French fry po' boy because there's nothing else to absorb the other flavors or to be a sideshow.
And look, for the ladies listening out there, this is a very simple thing to do.
Mhm.
Go over to Rouse's or your local grocery store. They all sell the New Orleans French bread.
Mhm.
Grab yourself a pole. Cost you $3.
Mhm.
Make yourself some brown gravy. If you're from here, you know how to make brown gravy.
Yeah.
Get your bag of French fries. Easy dinner for the kids. Everybody's got mayonnaise and all kind of condiments right in their refrigerator to begin with. So, or the ice box, as I call it. You know what an ice box?
Yeah, I know what an ice box is.
So my wife's always
back in the old days
Thanks, Jelly.
when a refrigerator didn't have it just had you
they
put in
put
the
the
ice
block
at the top
ice.
and it would drip down the sides.
Look
And,
at this guy.
no. They delivered the ice from the old ice house.
Yeah.
Which the old ice house became WDSU.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure.
Didn't know that.
That's where Morgus got his start.
That should be in this day in history somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we could figure out what day in 1970 Morgus got his start, we'd put that in this day in history.
I used to watch Morgus. But of course we have our fried seafood, our po' boys, our shrimp,
That's where I want to go.
catfish,
When we come back. Right
All
now.
right, I'm gonna finish
It's
these.
8:50. Here comes your money now. God, the gravy's so good.
Man, I flash fried these son of a bitches. They're like bricks on that restaurant.
All right, forget it. The Raider wins.
You think so?
Yeah. That cheddar cheese, a little sharpness of the cheddar right there. And you could have even gone a little bit heavier on the hot sauce. The Raider wins, dude. That's a great sandwich.
When you made me cut your sandwich in half, I realized I shouldn't put too much hot sauce on it because you might be a little too spicy. So
those two things have nothing to do with each other. Nothing at all to do with each other.
Get that one, JP?
I just want to make sure I wanted sandwich cut. Should we share the wealth? Have it spread around. Also, I can't fill up today because I'm going to Rocco's today. I'll be over there today.
Really?
Yeah. My buddy Scott Thomas and I are going to have lunch together.
Scott.
You know Scott? His daughter Camille plays with Abby. We're entering the AAU world, so we're going to commiserate today.
I saw her yesterday when I was leaving Mass. She was with Miss Sherry.
Who, Abby?
Yeah, I think she was going to give a reading or something. She walks over with the kids before Mass.
Montanino?
Yeah, and so she was probably doing a reading or, I don't know, bringing the gifts up or something. They always walk over.
Abby does a good job with the reading. She didn't give herself enough credit. Carrie's serving now. She's a
I was going to
minister.
be a Eucharistic minister to help them out in the morning from when they show it.
Yeah.
And then I got something from Deacon Grant, and they were like, can you sign up for permanent time? I'm like, no, I don't. It's not how I roll, dude.
With the daily stuff, they ask that.
I said, if I go to Mass and I'm there and they need somebody, I'll be happy to do it, and I'll be, registered or affirmed, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And so that I could do it. Take the class or whatever it is. It's something you take online, and you got to meet with Deacon Grant a couple of times. So
I'm probably going to move over that way. I don't need to sign up. Not for the weekdays, for the weekends. Holy God, that's such a... Yeah, is it obvious, y'all? Is it obvious, the French fry po' boy is great. It's an unbelievably good po' boy until you have the Raider next to it.
the raid is good, huh?
Yeah.
Now. All right, here we come with the sweet potato fries. This one has mayo, brown gravy, honey mustard.
Mayo, brown gravy, honey mustard.
Yes. All right. And sloppy. You need another sheet from there?
Do what?
Well, I got like some Rocco's paper.
Yeah.
So you can move it around. Yeah.
I already got the picture we're using to put it when we post it online. So
make yourself some room over there. These are messy though, bro.
yeah, they are.
Yeah, we'll make a couple dresses on this way.
All right. So wait. Which one am I going to next? Mayo, honey mustard.
Yeah. So
and gravy.
Yeah.
On a sweet potato.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Mm.
That cross section. Y'all, that cross section on the sweet potato po' boy with the honey mustard coming on this. Oh, look at how it kind of mixes in with the gravy.
Yeah. Whatever did I do to earn this disrespect? How they?
Ain't no disrespect.
You come to me and ask me to make you po' boys of all kinds. You never invited me once to your house to have coffee.
All right. That's March 19th. We get through March 17th before we do March 19th.
Right. Bro, you got to try these, dude.
All right, which one have I not tried yet?
This one is just honey mustard and mayo.
Okay.
No brown gravy.
Mm. All right, I think I did
And
this.
if you want, I could just make you one with just honey mustard and sweet potato fries. And then, of course, you can dress them too. I'm gonna dress a couple of these.
No, gotta have the gravy. I gotta have the gravy. Damn, that's good.
But get yourself some sweet potato fries and a side of honey mustard and dip them in it, man.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm telling you, brown gravy, when it starts to get hard, it's like spackle.
Hey, John.
One time I had some of the.
Hey, John. Are you sick of the song yet?
Huh?
One time I had some of the back of my.
Are you sick of the song yet?
No, of course not.
That's only 3 times, man. Come Sunday, I'm gonna hear this thing 1,000 times.
Oh man.
Good old McNamara's band. All right.
What do you think?
Okay, let me break down all of these.
Explain, Tums.
In the last segment.
Explains them.
In the last segment, I bit into the original potato po' boy, right? You got mayonnaise, you got French fries, you got gravy. That's it. It's good. It's very good, and I would recommend it.
It's mayo.
But mayo.
Yeah.
Sorry. Then you served up the Raider, where you add hot sauce and crystal hot sauce and cheddar cheese to it. This is my jam.
Some people like the Tabasco.
Crystal's the way to go.
Spicy with
yes.
Not bad Tabasco. Like Tabasco.
Nothing wrong with Tabasco. Crystal's
things.
Yeah, no. I'm with you.
You know the deal.
The Raider, whole other world, man.
Mm-hmm.
When you add the simplicity of the original is awesome. When you add a little bit more complexity to it by adding a little bit of heat with the crystal and then the sharpness of the cheddar cheese, now you've got a ball game. Now you've got a sandwich that like I'm raving about that one. Then on the sweet potato front, honey mustard, mayo, and sweet potatoes, and that's it. It's sweet. It's very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Put the gravy back on it, and Rocco, and they're all winners, dude.
And that's the beautiful thing again, like I was telling you, the simplicity of it and the variations of what you can do with this simple ingredients that we have here. I mean, and again, very easy to do at home. And, you come in, we'll make it, whatever way you want us to do it. But, for somebody growing up in the city, man, this is where it all started. So you got to be happy with where you were to get to where you were going, and they were happy. And look what happened with the po' boy. And, and today, of course, Friday, we're gonna have it. We mentioned some of our special earlier, fried seafood.
Yeah.
Shrimp, oyster, catfish, soft shell crab, we got it all.
Well, you got soft shell crab?
We have soft shell crab. We sure do.
Okay.
We sure do. We
might
sell
have
it.
to be
We
on
sell
the-
it.
I was
It's
planning
on.
on going
We have
oyster.
it. We have it most. I mean, sometimes we can't get it. It depends on the season. But we only sell U.S. products, and so we would never sell anything else. So we could get some foreign Indonesian stuff, but we will never compromise our product on the basis of cost, because our consumers deserve that from us.
Well, yeah,
Because
especially
that's what made us what we are, and we appreciate it.
especially with the shrimp and oysters, where you have to know that you've got the quality there.
Yeah, but like I said, if you can, now we're gonna be hemmed up. Fridays are very busy. Everybody knows Lent. Get there early, or come late, because if you come in the middle of lunch, it's gonna be busy. But try if you can to eat the food there, because it is always so much better when you dine in. And we have always tried to strive restaurant quality food served fast and to get you in and out as quickly as we can.
3358.
3358 Drusilla Lane, 248-1999. Go ahead, give them one.
In order to make a great New Orleans style po' boy, you got to be from New Orleans. On air, we got to get out of here. Stick around online.
All right.
All right, Facebook, we're going to sign off here in just a quick second. But
yeah. So again, if they're listening, if they're still on, go get you a cheap little meal for your family.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to make some as well. You want to add mayo, you put lettuce, tomato, and put the standard dress like they do in New Orleans.
See, I think the standard dress would go really, really well with the sweet potatoes.
Man, I'm telling you, just the brown gravy with lettuce, tomato, and pickles. Just the brown gravy.
That's a wish sandwich.
It's just a combination of the flavors.
Yeah.
And the mush, and so once it gets kind of mushy, because it heats up it's just, and it mixes with the mayonnaise and the gravy. I don't know, man. I told you this one time before, and it's the truth. We've got this guy. He may be in there today. I don't know. It's a good friend of ours. Been coming in there since we opened. Owns a couple of mechanic shops. He's got a dirt moving business, but he takes off Fridays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does not like mayonnaise, man. Will not eat it on anything. Nothing. Hamburger, steak, nope, eat it dry. But he will eat it on a roast beef po' boy.
Why?
Mayonnaise. I'm sorry, what did I say? Yeah, mayonnaise, because the combination of the mayonnaise with the gravy, he said, I can do that. But just mayonnaise by itself on like a shrimp po' boy,
yeah,
he said something about the flavor. But when it mixes with the gravy, that's the only thing he eats that he'll get brown gravy on that restaurant.
Interesting.
Isn't that something?
Very interesting.
And it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. Look at this, how easy this is, and I'm telling you, you can make, there's so much stuff, so many different ways you can make this stuff. Spin it. How about Swiss cheese, Creole mustard, brown gravy, and mayonnaise? How about that?
That would be awesome.
Maybe
the regular fries.
Maybe add the pepper jack cheese.
Okay. I'm here for it.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm here for all of it, man.
It's so, you can flip
well, because the slate is so
it.
basic, you can put whatever paint on it you want.
You can flip it, you can turn it, you can twist it, you kick it, and then look, I forgot to tell you, I'm wearing the Dairy Queen shoes now.
That's on clouds?
Yeah, the Dairy Queen symbol.
Oh, yeah. I see. If you flip, you point
see
your
what I'm
foot
saying?
forward. Yeah.
So here's the truth, JP. My foot used to be so fat. Even in the wads, I couldn't wear them. I'd split the side of the shoe open, but my foot shrunk since I lost weight.
Your foot shrunk?
Yeah, not in length, like the width of it.
Yeah.
I don't have to wear the super wide, just the single wide.
Okay.
Used to have to get like the triple EZZZZs.
Yeah.
Man, my foot looked like a
We're getting out of here on Facebook Live.
Finish these po' boys. Come check us out.
We'll see y'all later. Go see Rocco over at 3358 Drusilla Lane today. We'll see y'all.
Woo!